In a sports year best remembered for competitors who refuse to fold, for monumental comebacks, for dramatic worst-to-first turnarounds, the Denver Broncos are an enigmatic story. Only 1 year removed from Super Bowl 24, the Broncos' fall from grace was precipitated by bickering, by backbiting, and by questioning of the team's heart. But that was then. In contrast, the 1991 Broncos brought to the playing field an infusion of youthful exuberance, a pair of fresh but forgotten legs, a return to the Orange Crush defense that dominated and decimated opponents, and a new enthusiasm for a storied quarterback set free to call his own plays. The result was a sterling 12-4 record and a restored luster to the orange and blue. But uneasy is the head that bears the crown. Abysmal performances in past big games cast a specter of doubt over an organization that is one of only two to have lost 4 Super Bowls. And nothing short of a win in the January extravaganza can erase the ghosts of debacles gone by. A decade ago, during the halcyon days of Love You Blue, Bum Phillips and his one-man stampede named Earl Campbell knocked on the door for 3 straight years, but never gained entree to the Super Bowl. Now, 10 years later, a sense of deja vu exists as the Oilers make their 5th consecutive playoff march to the big show. Many feel that with an opportunistic defense and an explosive and acrobatic offense led by a superlative veteran quarterback, that the Houston Oilers' time is now. But the Astrodome juggernaut has been less than scintillating away from home. Is this the day they become road warriors, or will the tundra of the Rockies make them ordinary people? Is Denver a team of destiny, or will history be a stumbling block too large to overcome? For 2 perennial bridesmaids, one will take a giant step towards the Super Bowl altar, the other goes home.
NBC Sports presents the National Football League. Today, it's the AFC Divisional Playoff, the Houston Oilers versus the Denver Broncos.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Mile High Stadium. First, the weather. Perfect. Temperature 35 degrees, and look, possibility of snow. Hello, everybody. I'm Charlie Jones along with Todd Christensen, and we have a sense of urgency here with both quarterbacks.
Warren Moon is rich. Warren Moon is famous. Warren Moon has set NFL records. Warren Moon has been man of the year. What he lacks is a championship south of the Canadian border. For John Elway, arguably the most famous man in the Rocky Mountains, he has been the winningest quarterback since 1984, but he too lacks a championship ring. One of these people is going to go forward today. The other is going to be left behind.
And you can tell from the crowd there is a home field advantage.
Well, the record 65-20, the best record in the National Football League since Dan Reeves has been the head coach. They have almost like a Boston Garden advantage, if you believe in that sort of superstition. They do here in the Mile High City.
The Houston Oilers have won the toss. They will be receiving. Pat Coleman and Alan Pinkett are the 2 return men. And David Treadwell will be kicking off. And we are underway in Denver. High and short. And taken at the 17-yard line by Pat Coleman. And he returns near the 30-yard line. We'll take a look at the Houston offense to set it up. That offensive line of Maggs, Munchak, Matthews, Dawson, and Williams. Backs and receivers. The run and shoot, this is what we're going to see all day long, featuring the Fab Four: Haywood Jeffries, Drew Hill, Ernest Gibbons, and Curtis Duncan. Oilers from their own 30-yard line, first down. Drew Hill in motion. Moon goes deep. Jeffries has it inside the 25 to the 21-yard line. 50 yards on the opening play.
Johnny, this is exactly what Warren Moon was excited about. He said that they were going to come with some inside blitzes and they were going to go man for man. And finally this year, he was going to be able to go up top. It's a straight streak route by Warren by Jeffries rather, and he catches it for a 50-yard gain, picking on Charles Dimry, somebody who's not normally in the lineup as a result of the injury to Wyman Henderson.
First down, Houston at the Denver 21-yard line. Drew Hill in motion again. Moon looks right, Cox, plenty of time, end zone, incomplete. Drew Hill, the intended receiver. It will be second down back at the 21-yard line.
One of the things we're going to be exploring throughout the game is the fact that they had started in that three-man front, and as you can see there, he had plenty of time to throw. That's a nice throw, and Drew, I know, feels like he could have come up with that one.
Let's check in with the Denver defense. They call it the Tiger. It's a form of the nickel. Two linebackers are actually down. Lyman is Fletcher and Mecklenburg. Cragen is in there as the nose tackle. Brooks and Kroll are the other two. And then in the secondary, as you can see, 6 defensive backs with Lilo Lang replacing the injured Wyman Henderson. And that means that Dimry will move out on the corner. Lang will move inside. Here is the handoff to Lorenzo White. And a gain of 6 to the 15-yard line. It's going to be third down and 4 as Michael Brooks makes the tackle.
Well, Michael Brooks has been the leading tackler for the Denver Broncos this year, 153 tackles. And I think that Wade Phillips was concerned with the fact that Michael Brooks might not get into this ball game because of the fact that Houston is obviously a predominantly passing team. However, because they're going with a 3-2 set, they have both he and Mike Kroll in as inside linebackers.
Lorenzo White, the remaining back for the Oilers' 3rd and 4 opening drive of the ball game. Moon, end zone, diving reception, touchdown. Haywood Jeffries, 15 yards.
Well, pretty soon Haywood Jeffries is going to get excited. I don't know when. But that was some kind of catch he made on the inside. And once again, Warren Moon right on the mark with the 3 throws he's had thus far. My guess is the flag in the end zone is going to be because he celebrated a little bit too much.
We have unsportsmanlike conduct, illegal celebration, 84 on the offense. The 5-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
My guess is that he created a little bit too much wind when he was waving his arms. I don't understand that. In a game of this magnitude, it would have to be something like a double backflip to call that, but Houston's going to have to put up with the 5-yard penalty. I mentioned Warren Moon. The second throw was right on the mark to Hill as well, and this is exactly what Wade Phillips feared, is that Warren Moon would be hot.
Del Greco with the extra point. 70 yards in 4 plays, 1:46.
Haywood Jeffries, the century pass catcher, 100 catches this year, and that's why, right there. Warren Moon puts it right in his hands, spikes. Take a look at how excited he is. The ref says that's too much, but my guess is Jeffries doesn't care. We're up 7-zip.
Because you believe these trucks shouldn't carry a spare tire.
It's the right beer now.
Because up here, crisp-tasting beer just comes naturally.
It's the right beer now.
Because when the whole gang gets together, there's no room for filling up. So reach for the Silver Bullet, the beer that won't weigh you down.
It's the right beer now. Coors Light, it's the right beer now.
It has a dual overhead camshaft design. 4 valves per cylinder, and a responsive double wishbone suspension. The Acura Integra, an idea that began with a Formula One race car and has been evolving ever since.
Dear USA, there's a city with houses made of ginger, where enchanted princes dream. Gardens grow with living stones, and heroes come to play. A magical city where the friends you make are friends for life. It's Barcelona. It's in Spain.
The big play of that last drive was the 50-yarder to Haywood Jeffries. You can see right here, Dimry is going to funnel him to the inside, anticipating Dennis Smith is going to give some help. But once he backpedals, he's trying to read Warren Moon's eyes, and Warren does one of the best jobs in the NFL of looking safeties off. You're going to see him backpedal and not take any side. That's going to enable Jeffries to get inside Dimry for the 50-yard gain.
That by the way, only the third time.
The third time this season they have scored on the first drive of the game. First game of the season and last week against the Jets.
On the return, here is Alton Montgomery. Across the 25 to the 26-yard line. So the Broncos now down 7-0, and their first opportunity on offense. And that offensive line, there is a change at center. Keith Karts is out with a thigh injury. Dave Waddell has replaced him. Backs and receivers, of course, led by John Elway. When they go to their 3 wide, they call it their 11. Then Sewell comes out. Vance Johnson comes in. Today they want to keep Gaston Green in for the threat of the run. And Elway comes out throwing. Flag is down. Elway gets the pass on to Clarence Kay, the tight end, just as he was going down. And we'll go back and check out the flags.
Well, they called a tripping there. Ray Childress is off to a good start. We had a chance to see O.J. at the beginning of the telecast mention that the heart and soul of the Houston Oilers has been that man right there. 16 tackles for loss on the season for Ray Childress. He gets tripped, and the referee saw it.
We talked about the opening drive of the Houston Oilers. Well, the Broncos have allowed only 4 first-quarter touchdowns all regular season.
Tripping, 63 offense. Still first down.
On Sean Farrell.
Sean Farrell has not played much of the season. He has been injured, and so he really only has about 2 or 3 opportunities to have played thus far. You can see right there the leg comes around. He nails Lee Williams, and the official right on top of it. And what is that jumping on top of it? Boy, oh boy.
So the ball back at the 16-yard line. It is first down and 20. And here is Gaston Green. Green, one of the truly great stories of this football season. He's going to pick up only a yard. It'll be second down and 19. That Houston defense, the front 7 with Lee Williams replacing Doug Smith, who is out with that rib injury. And then we'll go to their secondary. Dishman, Johnson, McDowell, and Bo Orlando. They go to a spider, and in that formation, Darrell Lewis and Steve Jackson come in. That is a form of the nickel that we will see. They call it the spider. They like to catch them within the web. Elway to throw. This is a screen as he sets up deep. He wanted to set up a middle screen. He dives across the 30 to the 32-yard line. It's going to be third down and about 3 for the first down, maybe 4.
Well, the defensive line for the Houston Oilers forces them out. You can see Sean Jones going against Harvey Salem, who comes in specifically to pass block. They push him out of the pocket. Now, Elway does a nice job of getting the run. But in all honesty, I think Jim Eddy has to be happy with what he sees there in the pass rush, because they're just not giving Elway any time thus far to throw the ball.
And there is Jim Eddy, defensive coordinator of the Oilers. We talked to him last night. I said, are you excited? He said, I've never been so pumped up in my life.
Yeah, I was ready to put some pads on.
Sewell and Rivers are in, and the inside handoff is to the rookie Reggie Rivers, the free agent, and he will pick up the first down. A flag. We have a flag dropped at the 43-yard line. I was about to say pick up the first down, depending upon the mark, because it is right at the marker.
Well, this is foolish. After the play, Ricky Nattiel and Richard Johnson got into a little bit of an argument, and I think Nattiel may have poked him in the face or something, or said something the official didn't like, because you can see Richard Johnson was jumping up and down, pointing the other direction.
And this is the point of the season. You can't afford to make those kind of mistakes.
No, that's really a mental error on Ricky's part. He can't do that.
The loser goes home for the rest of the holidays.
They're waiting to see the name, and it is going to be a little bit short.
Yeah.
So my guess is that Houston's going to refuse the penalty.
Yes, make it fourth down.
You know, when we talked with Vance Johnson yesterday, he mentioned that there was going to be a lot of trash talking out there. But you know, in a game of this magnitude, as you mentioned, there's just no way that you can get that involved in it to where you cost your team 15 yards.
Dan Reeves, he's used to being here. This is his 41st postseason game as a player or as a coach.
Well, you know, it's interesting to me that this man has gone through 20...
84 offense. We will penalize 15 yards, and it's fourth down.
Dead ball foul. It was after The down had been blown dead.
Well, that's interesting.
Play had been blown dead.
That's certainly a gift for the Houston Oilers there, because that's going to give them much better field position.
So Mike Horan will be kicking to Pat Coleman.
Coming back to Dan Reeves, he was my running back coach my first year in the league in Dallas in 1978, and it always amazes me to realize that that's 27 straight training camps that man has been to. Man, oh man.
Houston leading 7-0. The temperature 35 degrees, no wind. Here's the pressure. He gets it off. And it will go out of bounds just outside the 35 mark at the 37-yard line. Back in a moment.
It's a fast-paced, gotta-go world we live in. So, why not sit back and enjoy the ride in a luxury performance car designed to keep up with it? The 5-cylinder, 20-valve Acura Vigor.
Word on the street was they were a bad bet. An American institution, 3 days shy of extinction. Only one investment firm, Dean Witter, saw past the problems to the real value of the company. And a rumble was heard round Wall Street as the last American motorcycle company came roaring back to life with a listing on the New York Stock Exchange. From Main Street to Wall Street, at Dean Witter.
We measure success one investor at a time.
This hand holds 2 reasons for you to can the leading aerosol deodorant. 1, better deodorant protection. 2, a better way to get it. New Shore Pro Pump. Better deodorant protection, more concentrated than an aerosol, and a better way to get it, with pumping power. So more goes where you need it, not into thin air. That's 2 powerful reasons to switch to new Pro Pump, but I'm only going to tell you once. For better deodorant protection, can the can, pump the Pro.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Starter. Look for the stars and you'll find Starter. By Acura Automobiles. Experience precision-crafted performance. By GTE, telecommunications consultant to the NFL. And by Coors Light. The Silver Bullet is the right beer now.
Houston, first down, their own 37-yard line, second offensive possession. They lead 7-0. Moon rolls out left. He is going to keep, has the first down and about 4 or 5 more yards. 48-yard line of Denver. Brooks was chasing him. He scrambles for 15.
Again, give credit to the offensive line of the Houston Oilers. Warren Moon in the run and shoot takes his 3 steps and he cuts off half the field. He's going right, but they give him enough time to come back and go to the left, and there's nobody there. And Warren Moon at age 35, I don't know what his 40 time is, but it was plenty enough here to get the first down.
Remember earlier in the season when we talked with him, he had talked to his mother, Pat, in Los Angeles. Had given him some advice. That advice was don't throw into double coverage. Last night he said she didn't give him advice for this game, but she was so nervous watching the Jet game that she couldn't enjoy it. They taped it, she watched it that night, and she liked it the second time. The touchdown scoring, Haywood Jeffries with the reception.
One of the things that the Houston Oilers do is that they alter your defense. Here's the normal starting lineup for the Denver Broncos. Warren Powers out. Ron Holmes out. Wyman Henderson, due to injury, is out. Mike Kroll has to go to inside linebacker. Carl Mecklenburg goes to end. Simon Fletcher goes to end. And the result of that is that some of the best people that they want to have out there on the field are not there. And they have some mismatches in the middle, particularly with Dimry and Robbins, number 48, who is a strong safety by trade.
We had an official's timeout. One of the hand warmers had fallen off of one of the Denver Broncos. Haywood Jeffries scoring the touchdown, has 3 receptions, 72 yards already as Lorenzo White will pick up the first down as he goes to the 37-yard line. He needed 2, and he got 3. Steve Atwater, who's going to the Pro Bowl, along with his other safety, Dennis Smith, for the Denver Broncos, makes the tackle.
Well, Wade Phillips can't be the happiest man right now. Warren Moon has started off hot, and even when they have the good coverage, he goes with a 15-yard run, and now it appears that they're able to integrate the run as well. They definitely have Denver's defense on its heels.
Mecklenburg with a stinger comes out. Ron Holmes replaces him at that defensive right end. First down. Houston, Denver 37-yard line. Little play action fake. Moon has lots of time, throws underneath the coverage to Gibbons. It is incomplete.
Now at the last minute, the official is going to call holding on Mike Munchak. Mike Kroll came with a good rush and almost reached out and got Warren Moon, but apparently Munchak had a handful of jersey.
Flag dropped back at the 48-yard line.
Holding, 63, offense. Still first down.
Mike Munchak, for the 7th time, was named to the Pro Bowl for the Houston Oilers. In fact, they feel that this is going to be their next Hall of Famer, the former Penn Stater. But he's got his hands full with Mike Kroll, the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. Now, this is what the official sees. See the left hand right there in the jersey? He pushes him away, and actually, if he was going to call holding, it should have been about 4 steps earlier when he had that handful of 5 in number 51.
Last year, Houston, the most penalized team in the NFL. This past season, they really cut it down. This is a screen, and it was saturated by the Broncos. And so Moon was in reality simply throwing it away. It'll be second down and 20 at the 47-yard line. Good defensive play by the Denver Broncos.
Again, the
screen immediately.
I was going to say, Charlie, again, in the judgment of the officials, they're going to see, you're going to see Lorenzo White off to the right of your screen. He is in the vicinity of this throw, but clearly you can see that he's throwing that ball away. And if the official feels that way, he can certainly make the call, but in this case, he opted not to.
That is the referee's call only. He is always behind the quarterback, and he reads that through the quarterback. Second down and 20. Here is White, and Lorenzo to the 41-yard line. He'll pick up 6 yards on the play. Michael Brooks and Tyrone Braxton on the tackle.
Again, you might say to yourself, Warren, how come you're not throwing the ball downfield when you have so much yardage to pick up? In Mile High Stadium, with the thinner air, the range of Aldo Greco is going to be that much longer. And so even though this seems like somewhat of a no-brainer play, now if they can get another 6 or 7 yards, even if they don't get the first down, they can still be in field goal position.
Mecklenburg is back in on defense. Third down and 14. The pass is complete to Gibbons. Gibbons has the first down at the 15-yard line, a gain of 26 on the play.
One of the things that Warren Moon does as well as any quarterback in the National Football League is he sees the matchups and he is going to find the weak points. Lilo Lang may be a competent cornerback, but he has not had the opportunity this season. This is his first start, and he's going against somebody as competent as Ernest Gibbons, who last week against the Jets had 2 big touchdown catches.
With the Fab Four of Houston and the run and shoot, they are known more for being successful indoors on the turf. When we talked to Warren Moon yesterday, he said this is fast grass.
And that makes a big difference where the Fab Four is concerned because of the timing of the routes.
Flag is down. Gibbons has it at the 6, back to the 10. But we'll check out the 2 flags. Michael Brooks with the tackle. And so penalties thwarting the Oilers on this, their second offensive drive. Houston leads it by a score of 7-0 with 7:11, 2 lucky numbers, time remaining.
Offense, 2 men moving. Still first down.
One of the impressive things, strange enough, Charlie, about Ernest Gibbons is the fact that at 5'9", 172, he catches a lot of his balls in the middle of the field. And right there you can see he does not lack courage when it comes to coming across the middle.
He has that shield because that broken nose he had a few weeks ago, it kind of curlicues and I can't even breathe through the left side of it. He's going to have plastic surgery after the season is over. Here is White. Has 4 to the 16. It'll be second down and 11. You were talking about, well, you were talking for a moment about the thin air here at Mile High Stadium. That, of course, everybody has talked about for years. And Dan Reeves, the head coach of Denver, has a unique look.
He says he knows the air is thin on Saturdays, more so even than Sundays. It gets really thin for wide receivers that have to run a lot. Boy, was that tongue-in-cheek or what? It's amazing some of the little subtle psych jobs that these coaches do on one another, isn't it?
Warren Moon, 5 of 7, 104 yards and a touchdown. The Oilers dominating the early going. Givens at the 9, and he is brought down after a gain of 7 by Tyrone Braxton.
Notice there at the end of the play, Ernest Givens knew where that was coming from. He knew it was his zone defense. He knew he was going to get hit. He eases up and takes the shot. Here makes it very interesting coming on third down. The Oilers tops in the AFC at converting. A lot of that due to the fact that their third down offense is on the field every single down. Right. And the Broncos leading the AFC in preventing. That's a very impressive 31.1%.
Ernest Givens, when we talked to him yesterday, also said in the playoffs, I like to take it up just one more notch. Houston 2 of 2 on third down conversions in the ball game. Moon looking to the end zone. All alone is Drew Hill at age 35, planning to retire next year. He may stay around for a few more years.
Well, this is the savvy of the veteran quarterback. The Broncos come with the blitz from the outside. Houston is able to pick it up, and once again, it's a mismatch. Dennis Smith is certainly an all-pro safety, but take a look. There you can see the blitz coming from the corner. Dennis Smith over. Oh, my. Guesses to the outside. He was wrong. Hill to the inside. 6 points for the Oilers. Easy money.
And the extra point is good. And Houston moves out in front, 14-0 with 5:16 left to go in the first.
And you'll find...
To the dismay of many, there are only 24 hours in a day.
The load's almost done.
So before you head off on a sales call...
Wait. Let me see the bottom. You can go in now.
Before you begin to grapple with a business letter...
Oh, please change the bottom.
GTE would like to suggest a slightly more productive alternative.
I'm sorry?
Now, you're going to want to sit down for this one. The phone. Because if time is money, this is a bank.
When you rent from Hertz on vacation, you get more than free unlimited mileage. You get the company behind the car, so that the miles aren't just free, they're worry-free. All over America, Hertz treats you right with dependable service at low rates you'll like. Now, with all those free miles ahead of you, wouldn't you feel better with Hertz behind you?
Hertz, we're America's wheels.
We've added the leading cough suppressant to the proven cold relief of Alka-Seltzer Plus. So now you can relieve your cold and cough together. Introducing Alka-Seltzer Plus cold and cough medicine. 2 kinds of relief from only 1 medicine.
All right. No. The man you're looking at right there, Drew Hill, 4,000-yard seasons past the age of 30. He said he's going to retire next year. Why?
That's right.
The man is doing an outstanding job. On the other side of the field, the Denver Broncos have to be searching a little bit, wondering what they can do to stop this Houston Oilers offense.
Drew Hill said, I want to go away on my terms and not when somebody else tells me. Here's Montgomery from the 6, to the 20, to the 30. He returns to the 35-yard line, where Darrell Lewis makes the tackle.
The Denver Broncos came with a corner blitz on both sides, but see here at the top of your screen, Lilo Lang is going to come, and Lorenzo White is going to pick him up. Now, Dennis Smith has to come up and take it, and the normal blitz route is an out. Watch when Dennis Smith takes a look. He's going to guess on the out route, but Drew Hill is going to run a post, and as a result, Dennis Smith is a dead duck.
First down, Denver. And the pitch to Gaston Green. Green has the first down. He'll pick up 12 yards on the play.
It might indicate a little desperation on the part of the Broncos. They come with 2 corner blitzes over here. Lang, and from the other side, you're going to see Atwater, but he gets picked up. Houston Oilers are doing not only a marvelous job of running pass routes, but in their blitz pickups as well. Give a lot of credit to the likes of Maggs and Williams, the tackles for the Houston Oilers.
First down, Denver, their own 47-yard line. Houston leads it 14-0. Just under 4.5 minutes to go. We're in the first quarter. And again, it is Gaston Green. When we talked to him yesterday, I asked him, what was your strength? He said, I like to run over people.
Yeah,
he started laughing.
At 192 pounds. Who's he kidding? Great tackle there by Richard Johnson from the cornerback position. Take a look at the numbers compiled in his career up to 1991. He was pretty much of a forgotten man for the Los Angeles Rams. John Robinson feeling like that he could not go through an entire season. And as you mentioned when we talked with him, the big satisfaction out of this year was not the 1,000 yards, not the Pro Bowl, but to prove that he belonged in this league.
Interesting. Wasn't Drew Hill a forgotten man from the Rams organization?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Elway to the tight end, Clarence Tay, close to the first down. First time that the Bronco offense has been on track to the ball game. Marcus Robertson with the tackle.
Give a lot of credit here to John Elway in his play calling. They're down 14-0, and easily he could panic and start throwing every down and going downfield. But he realized there's a lot of time left in the game. The fake counter boot, he comes out to the right, gets the ball to Clarence Kay, who's not exactly the best pass catcher in the world, but John Elway wants to utilize everybody at his disposal.
And remember, he told us yesterday that he likes to script the first 10 or 12 plays and then kind of go from there. And just about half an inch from the first down. And he said this man, Dan Reeves, in reality, because of the changes that they have in their offense of what they're going to do against Houston, and because of the players that have to come in for the formation, will probably go back to calling more of the plays than John Elway. Third down and an inch. Elway to quarterback sneak, and he does as he just kind of surges over the left side. He's going to look for an opening over the flags. They're down underneath. Now we're going to have some major league pushing and shoving.
Well, the last couple of plays, I've noticed that some people have been jumping on the pile. In particular, I noticed that I believe it was one of the Waddell brothers who was jumping on top of the pile at the end, and that's creating some of the arguments.
79 defense. First down.
That's on Ray Childress. Bad back, bad ribs and all. And he does not agree with it. Meanwhile, Lamar Lathan is saying, his teammate, you can't do this in these kind of games. He pushes him away.
It's going to be very hard to see this in the middle there, but right there at the end, there's Waddell on top of him. He hits him in the face first, and then Childress grabs the face mask. Inevitably, it's the second guy that gets caught.
And Houston has a timeout. We'll step aside for a moment.
Images presented by Honda. Let the debate rage over which team benefits from these conditions. The extremes of the elements make their own rules. In the Nature Dome, there is no home field advantage.
Designed to run like a watch. Just strap it on.
Next Saturday, it's two great college traditions on NBC. First, Dean Smith's North Carolina Tar Heels take on the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Then, it's Heisman Trophy runner-up Casey Weldon, Houston's Top Gun David Klingler, Indiana's spectacular Vaughn Dunbar, and the nation's top senior All-Americans at the Kodak Hula Bowl. All next Saturday on NBC.
Heads up by Jack Pardee to call that timeout. The Houston Oilers defense had lost a little bit of composure, and the Denver Broncos were driving. That's the experience of the man who has been Coach of the Year in 4 different leagues.
Gaston Green is the ball carrier. A gain of 4 to the 32. It will be 2nd down and 6. And when you factor in that 4, Houston now total yardage 140. Another flag is down.
Now that's Richard Johnson. That was really foolish. This is the very reason that they called a timeout. Now you can see Jack Pardee on the sideline screaming at these people to say, you can't do this. Right in front of the official, Richard Johnson pushes the rookie, Derek Russell. You can't throw the arm in front of the official's face. Of course he's going to call that.
Personal foul. 23 defense. First down.
Then after he makes the call, Richard Johnson starts pointing at the official, and he actually pushed him in the shoulder. Johnson's got to be careful because that could have been something he could have got thrown out of the game for.
Denver's play selection thus far, 6 runs, 1 pass. Oh, that's amazing. And here's the 7th run. Gaston Green. Why is Denver not throwing the ball more?
I tell you what, never mind that. Officials are having every play now for the last 5. They've had to step in between people. Now they have to get this thing under control right here so it's a football game and not a slugfest. And actually, you got to give a little credit to the rookie, Derek Russell, for inciting a veteran like Johnson to do something that foolish. Vance Johnson told us yesterday that there was going to be some trash talking, and that's exactly what's occurred here.
Major trash. Well, the officials hold their cameras. Back to my question, why is Denver running and not throwing?
Oh, I think that they're trying to get their bearings.
Game clock to 2:35. 2:35.
So we'll reset the game clock that was down to 2:21 back to 2:35.
In answer to your question, Charlie, I think that one of the things they don't want to do here is, first of all, they want to get Gaston Green involved in the game. They know that the front 4 of the Houston Oilers can pin their ears back and come. And if they don't establish a running game early, if it becomes a situation where they have like a 3-to-1 pass to run situation, then the front 4 of the Houston Oilers is going to wear down the offensive line of the Broncos.
Gaston Green, 5 carries, 18 yards, and Steve Sewell is now back with him. 2nd and 10. 2 yards on the draw. Gaston Green to the 15. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Be sure to be with us here on NBC tomorrow. We will start it all with NFL Live, and OJ will have a feature on Bruce Smith. And that, of course, to set up the big game tomorrow, the AFC Divisional playoff between Kansas City and Buffalo. And we understand the weather in Buffalo is nice but cold.
I'll be interested to see what the 2-week layoff after a loss has done to the Buffalo Bills. The Kansas City Chiefs are on a roll.
3rd down and 8, 15-yard line. Denver with 4 wide receivers. Flags are down. Elway to the 11-yard line. But there are markers on both sides of the field.
Charlie, Lamar Latham was offsides, and the thing that's foolish about that is Lamar Latham was not even in the blitz. Lamar Latham is trying to draw Ken Lanier offsides, but Ken Lanier is a veteran player. He jumps up and then comes back into coverage. And in being so foolish, he jumps offsides, and that's really a mental error on the part of Lamar Latham.
57, defense. Second down.
The penalty takes the ball to the 10.
Watch there in the middle of your screen. Watch 57. Now he comes back. He's not really rushing. See, he has the coverage. He's not rushing at all. He's just trying to draw Lanier off sides. And unfortunately for him, that enables the Denver Broncos to get a free play.
That is the 6th penalty against Houston in the first quarter. 3rd down and 3. Houston cleaning up their act this year over the past with fewer penalties. We can't tell it today. Touchdown, Vance Johnson. Treadwell with the point after attempt. Bad snap high. Kubiak could not get it down. It is no good off to the left. It was a bad snap from Dave Weidel.
One of the things to make a point here is that Dave Weidel is starting for Keith Cards. This is not a normal situation where he just comes in to snap. He has been playing. So take a look at his hands. His hands are still padded up. And as a result of his hands being padded up, he doesn't get the snap that he wants. The laces are towards Treadwell. He hooks it left.
And so with 1 minute and 17 seconds left in the first quarter, it is Houston 14, Denver 6 as we go back to the touchdown.
Well, Vance Johnson said that he was going to have some special plays today, and he was going to do some magic things on third down, and he said he flat out wanted Chris Dishman. Well, he got him. Man-for-man coverage. He comes in on the slant. Dishman too far behind. A little bit of funk at the end. Touchdown, Denver Broncos.
And Vance did point out to us that he has been the Broncos' leading receiver over the last 5 games of the regular season. And he was very proud of that fact. And wanted us to mention.
One of the things that the Houston Oilers wanted to do, and he's got a normal haircut for a change. I find that interesting. Doing some painting, he told us, very happy with himself now. He admitted to us, I thought interesting, that he had taken some therapy.
Yes. He said he's very happy with his home life. That has made all of the difference in the world. Treadwell kicks out. Pickett is the return man to the 15. And down at the 20-yard line by Lilo Lang.
Right here you can see Vance Johnson over here. It's going to make a... Right here you're going to see Vance Johnson in the backfield is going to make a corner move on Dishman and then come back to the inside. Dishman bites on the corner move, and Vance Johnson able to cut inside for the 6.
Warren Moon in the first 10 minutes of the ball game completed 7 of 9 for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Third offensive possession for Houston from their own 20. Outside blitz pressure, pass is complete to Curtis Duncan near the 30-yard line. Charles Dimry was there. That is the Bronco that they have been picking on and will continue to pick on. They find him wherever he is.
Well, Curtis Duncan is actually somewhat of the forgotten of the Fab Four. He was the only one that did not catch at least 70 passes, but that's a nice out route he has right there. And as you mentioned, Dimry and Lang are the people that they're going to pick on today.
Second down, about half a yard to go for the first down. 30 seconds left in the first period. Lorenzo White will pick up the first down as he goes to the 33-yard line.
Let me tell you, the running game can be incredibly effective when you keep coming up 2nd and 2 and 3rd and 1. And thus far, that's all Lorenzo White has had to do is 2nd and 2s and 3rd and 1s. And those are easy first downs.
And the quarterbacks love to call that play.
Yeah.
So we'll take the countdown to the end of the first quarter to make it official. Houston 14, Denver 6. Back with the second period in a moment.
A mistake was made. Okay, we forgot. We overlooked it.
Say you need something sent overnight. There are a few companies you can call, but say you need it Saturday morning, guaranteed. There are 2, but only one is so efficient.
Bobby, just give me a couple of minutes.
They get it there on time for far less, which is why to some, there is only one, UPS.
12, here's 12. 40. Let's go get them up.
You've got to be strong. To win, you've got to be smart. Maybe you can be one of us, the few, the proud, the Marines.
In a world of sweeping changes, there is one certainty. The financial strength of the Rock. The Prudential Rock Solid.
This winter, sports' biggest stars are on NBC. Michael leads the world champs against Isaiah and the Pistons. Detroit heads to Boston to battle Larry Bird and the Celtics. A rematch of last year's NBA Finals as the Bulls take on the Lakers. And a day of shooting stars at the All-Star Game. The NBA's just beginning on NBC. Come fly with us.
The Denver fans, here's the man, I think when in the 5th grade, he called it his senior year.
I thought that was your son, for goodness sakes. There's a funky look. These fans really get into it. The 176th straight sellout here in Denver. And take a look at that home record. Best in the NFL since Dan Reeves took over as head coach for the Broncos in 1981.
Houston from their own 33-yard line. The sun breaks through the overcast. Lorenzo White is broken down by Simon Fletcher. No gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
One of the things that Houston has done effectively, obviously, with the 2 touchdown drives is take the crowd out of the game. But as we show some of the faces throughout this orange and blue stadium, if somehow they were to hold the Houston Oilers here and make them punt, then the crowd very much gets back into it.
Lorenzo White, 5 carries, 17 yards. Told us he loves to run on grass. You can fall down and you do not have to worry about hurting yourself. Boone slips away from the pressure, sets and throws. Pass is complete. This is Gibbons, who goes out of bounds after 27 yards. Dennis Smith hit him inside the 40-yard line. Jeff Mills was the man who slipped around. Lorenzo White was putting the pressure on.
People forget Lorenzo White completely misses Mills, and people forget that Warren Moon was one of the best running quarterbacks when he was up with the Edmonton Eskimos, throwing for 5,000 yards a season. Nice athletic play that he makes to get to Gibbons. Now Gibbons is just going to run completely across the zone unmolested. No chuck at the line of scrimmage, nobody there in the middle. He hesitates there, assuming there's somebody, but there isn't. And Gibbons with a big gain for the Oilers.
And like most of the teams against Houston, they sit in that zone, force them to throw underneath, then try to punish these little receivers. Moon with pressure throws to Jeffries, who has scored one of the 2 touchdowns for the Oilers. Just inside the 30-yard line. It is close to the 1st down.
Take a look at the middle of the field if you can. Watch how when the Fab Four take off, everything gets spread out. That middle of the field is wide open. A simple delay route by Haywood Jeffries, there's no way that should be getting 10 or 11 yards. They have to have some people in the middle who are going to catch Jeffries and Gibbons and the like coming across the middle.
Defensively, Carl Mecklenburg back out of the ballgame. Ron Holmes has replaced him for the 2nd time. It is 2nd down for Houston. About a half yard to go at the Denver 29. There's Mecklenburg on the sideline.
Why is he on the sideline?
Coach's decision is what we hear. He is not injured. Moon has pressure, steps away. It is intercepted. We're going to have a flag down and a face mask called against Denver. This is Atwater down the sideline. Atwater is out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. But there is the marker. It's going to be a face mask against the Broncos.
We get a chance to see it. Warren is fading back just to show his poise. He stays in the pocket, and even though he gets his face mask grabbed, he still stays with it. It was an incidental face mask, but the official does a nice job of catching it.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 52 defense. Face down.
Johnny Greer has had some pivotal calls today. Warren Moon standing in the pocket. Right there, Ron Holmes. There he does. He pulls the face mask back, throws it. Now the ball is completely gone. No reason for Jeff Mills to do that. Actually, Johnny Greer missed the initial face mask.
He missed the face mask, and he got this.
And he calls Mills here for spiking Warren Moon.
There's too many over-anxious, dumb plays going on.
Well, one of the things we talked about, if you saw the tease on NFL Live, was the infusion of youth for the Denver Broncos. Well, that's all well and good to have youthful exuberance, but with youth comes mistakes. And that one right there is a crucial mistake for Denver.
Moon now, 10 of 12, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns. 1st down at the Bronco 15. 3 flags are down. The pass is incomplete. Gibbons, the intended receiver. This is one of those ball games that every time the ball is snapped, first thing you look for is the flag.
There have been a lot of them. It appears that the left tackle moved when Gibbons was in motion.
Ball start, 78 offense prior to the snap.
That's Don Maggs, the left tackle.
Don Maggs rocks back a little bit. What Denver's been trying to do, you can see he has to set up at that angle. See right there, just a little bit. Flexes the right leg, but that's enough.
First down and 15. The ball now at the Denver 20-yard line. Penalty yardage, 90 already total. Houston leads 14-6. Just over 12 and a half left in the first half. Moon, lots of time. Looks left, comes back right to Duncan. To the 9-yard line. He will pick up 11, but remember he needed 15.
If you notice the number of different jersey numbers for the Denver Broncos in there, it's because Wade Phillips is trying to do anything he can to get a pass rush. Jeff Mills is in there. Now Brian Sochet is in there. They're trying a number of different people to try to put some pressure on Moon, but it just isn't working. Right there, he's able. That was actually the third read going to Curtis Duncan. But it's enough for the first down.
And Carl Mecklenburg back into that Denver Bronco defense. Second down and 4 at the 9-yard line. Gibbons is in motion. No pressure. Pass is complete to Duncan at the 6-yard line. It'll go for 3, so it's going to be still third down and a yard. This time Dimry was there to stop him.
At this point of the game, I'm interested, Charlie. Do you think this is 4-down territory? Because you know that the Houston Oilers do not have a 3 tight end set. They don't have a big bruising group to go in there. And more than likely, Denver, who has historically been one of the best goal line defenses in the National Football League, you know, if they stuff them here, I'll be interested to see the decision Pardee makes.
That is a tough decision.
You think it's too early in the game? You're on the road.
And if you throw for the touchdown, you can put them away. Third down and 1. Houston 3 of 3 on third down conversions. Goes back right. Touchdown. Curtis Duncan. We'll never know if they would have kicked it on the 4.
Let me say the names right now so you can appreciate them. Bruce Matthews, Mike Munchak, Doug Dawson, David Williams, and Don Maggs. One of the things that Jack Pardee said was that we have to improve our pass coverage. Curtis Duncan has all day. Look at that. It's an in route. He actually gets away with a little bit of a push. This is called a swirl. Comes in and swirls out. The 21st point is coming up for the Houston Oilers.
Good snap, good hold. Del Greco good. Houston 21, Denver 6. Back with a kickoff in a moment.
When you're the best, you can take a few knocks.
Like a rock, I was strong as I could be. Like a rock, nothing ever got to me.
With the best rust protection, Chevy full-size is America's best-selling truck. Chevy trucks.
Like a rock.
The trucks you can depend on. The trucks that last. Now it's easier to own a Chevy truck.
It was just another Saturday afternoon until those old guys came out of the woods with axes. Just when we thought it couldn't get any weirder, it did. They even brought their own music.
Awesome! Hey, fellas, how about a cold bud?
A bud? Obviously, we thought alike.
Oh, that's cold.
Jason Patrick.
When you come in, it can't be halfway.
Jennifer Jason Lee.
I can do what it takes.
2 cops going undercover.
Are you telling us to plant evidence?
Sometimes good work is accomplished in mysterious ways.
And going all the way.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
My job.
Rush, featuring music by Eric Clapton. Rated R. Starts Friday at select theaters.
Welcome back to Mile High Stadium. I'm Charlie Jones along with Todd Christensen. We talked about the home field advantage. One of the things Warren Moon said, he wanted to take the crowd out of the ballgame.
Well, I think the way you do that is you go 13 for 15 for 186 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's one of the things that can give 75,000 people laryngitis.
That takes them out in a hurry, doesn't it? And the Oilers are 8-0 when scoring 21 or more points.
Interestingly enough, Charlie, heading into this game, Denver was the best in the AFC at point prevention, just a little bit over 14 a game.
Montgomery from the 4 to the 10, 15, needs a big return. A flag is down.
They're going to catch tight end Reggie Johnson for making a tackle on Mike Dumas.
So Johnny Greer and his umpiring crew have really got their work cut out for them. This, by the way, is not the regular crew.
38 on the receiving team. Still first down.
All the officials are graded by position for the playoff games. And so this crew coming together because they graded amongst the highest.
Well, let me tell you something. They're earning their money today.
They really are.
Really, I mean, not just the crucial calls that Johnny Greer has had to make, but the number of times when side judges and back judges and umpires have had to step between 280-pound people to stop the fisticuffs.
So with the penalty, Denver will start from their own 10-yard line. Denver's total offense is 59 yards. Elway looks left, comes back right, steps out of the grass. That rule no longer effective. Slides at the 15, and then was hit after the slide, and there is not a flag. There should be a flag on that play. Let's look at it again. Al Smith came down on it.
Charlie, I'm not so sure because John Elway was one of the few quarterbacks in the league who usually doesn't slide. If you remember earlier in the season when they defeated the Minnesota Vikings, he had a 15-yard run where he lowered his shoulder and ran over a guy.
That doesn't make any difference. He slides here.
How is Al Smith supposed to know that the guy's going to go for the slide? He's not trying for a cheap shot. He's trying to hit number 7.
Elway 3 rushes, 22 yards.
That man had a tremendous season, by the way.
And actually, when you look at it again, he was dropping down to stop it.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, I'll buy it.
Impressive numbers there for Al Smith. 143 tackles. Third time in his career he's had over 100.
2nd and 6 at the 14. Here's Gaston Green around the corner, right side. Has the first down. And he is out to the 28 of the 29-yard line. Derek Russell, a key block. He picks up 14 on the play. Dishman makes the tackle.
The Denver Broncos do a nice job of hooking William Fuller, the left defensive end. Watch coming at you. William Fuller gets hooked by Shannon Sharp, and that enables Gaston Green to get to the outside. Lamar Lathan, normally playing at the outside backer position, is back as an inside backer, and the result is that they're outnumbered. That's the exact same play that earlier in the game Gaston Green got a 12-yard gain.
Gaston Green with 1,000 yards plus. It cost him $1,200 taking his lineman to dinner. Gaston Green, Childress is right there. One more step and Childress could have taken the handoff.
Ray Childress is fired up. Look at him screaming at people. Except for that, he reminds me an awful lot of a great cowboy by the name of Bob Lilly. He guesses right on this play, cuts to the inside. That's his 17th tackle for loss this season.
It is 2nd down and 13. 8:45 time remaining in the first half. Houston 21, Denver 6. Green has rushed for 31 yards in 8 carries.
I think that what he's been saying to all the opponents and his own teammates, I think he's talked more than he has at any time he's talked to any broadcasters. I mean, he's one of the least animated. Boy, can he play.
And it is incomplete. Was it Childress that got a hand on him?
I believe he could have. Ray Childress fired up along with Jerome Brown and Michael Dean Perry, one of the 3 best defensive tackles in football. You can see Wydell looking towards him. That's what they're looking for in the double team. They both want a piece of him. Comes up with that left hand. Oh,
got it with his elbow.
Look how low he threw that. I mean, Childress's vertical jump isn't that much. I mean, I know he's a great player, but he's not going to make anybody forget Spud Webb with his vertical.
Elway has thrown thus far with 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. Only 3 passes, 2 of 3, 18 yards. One, of course, that touchdown to Vance Johnson. Scrambles right. He throws downfield, and a flag is down. Mike Michael Young was mugged by Steve Jackson.
Well, if you believe the concept that youth will be served, Steve Jackson has to have his head in the game, and that is that, look, it's going to be a difficult catch anyway. The last thing you want to do is interfere with it, but now there's some question as to whether or not the receiver went out of bounds first. And if he did, then that will negate the interference penalty.
There is no infraction on the play. The receiver has stepped out of bounds.
I don't think Johnny Greer is going to win any popularity contests here in Denver, but sure enough, take a look. Right there heels Michael Young. Now when he comes back to the ball, that's a good call by the official. He's right on top of it.
Excellent call. Show me now, that call was made on the field, and they didn't have the time to look at it. Picked up by the officials. There's a tendency to, to get on the officials with the instant replay, but when they do something like a tough call, and they made it. Good.
And an unpopular call, too. Yeah. A lot of times it's easy to let that go.
Pressure on Haran. He gets it off. And Coleman takes it at the 37-yard line. 38 yards on the kick. Back in a moment.
With service to more cities across the Atlantic than any other U.S. airline, Delta now makes it easier than ever for the people of America to get to know the people of Europe.
Buongiorno.
Bonjour.
Via.
Guten Tag.
Grüezi. Delta. We love to fly and it shows.
Здравствуйте.
Maybe your first car shouldn't be a car.
I was 18, didn't have a care, working for peanuts, not a dime to spare.
Get this Chevy S10 EL pickup with cash back for around $8,000. Chevrolet, the trucks you can depend on, the trucks that last.
Like a rock, oh, like a rock. There's a hunger inside you, and it won't go away. There's a hunger inside you, growing stronger every day.
Snickers Bar, the official snack food sponsor of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team. Packed with fresh roasted peanuts, thick milk chocolate, and caramel, Snickers satisfies the hunger inside you.
There's a hunger inside me. There's a hunger inside you.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the trucks you can depend on, the trucks that last. By Delta Airlines, we love to fly, and it shows. By the Prudential, come to the companies of the Prudential and build your future on the rock. And by Budweiser, the beer with a taste as genuine as the people who drink it. Nothing beats a Bud.
We share the scenic wonders of the beautiful state of Colorado. And right now, the Denver Broncos have a scenic wonder, wondering what is happening to them. They're trailing 21-6 with 8:07 left to go in the first half. And Houston with a first down at their own 38-yard line. Gibbons is in motion. He is the only one of the Fab Four receivers not to have a touchdown. Boone throws, and this time it is Tony Jones, one of the backup receivers, who makes the catch. Speaking of the Fab Four,
you can see their seasonal numbers here. Combined catches here of 315, more than all of the Denver Bronco team combined. And look at their numbers today. They have not disappointed. As you mentioned, Gibbons the only one without a touchdown. Little Tony Jones there, who made the catch, he intersperses with Curtis Duncan. At 5'6.5", 139 pounds, all you mothers out there, don't worry about it. If your kid's a little bit small, you can play in this league.
It helps if you're fast and have good hands. And here is White, and he is driven back. He is met by Cragen. When we talked with Bruce Matthews yesterday, the center for the Oilers, he said one thing about playing across from Cragen: you're going to have to play the whole ball game, because he comes ready and he never lowers his intensity regardless of what else is happening.
Well, some of his teammates have to up their intensity, because on the drives thus far where Houston Oilers are concerned, we haven't seen Greg Montgomery. There you get a chance to look at Greg Cragen, the 7th-year veteran out of Logan, Utah. Take a look at the There you can see Carl Mecklenburg looking a little bit fatigued already.
Warren Moon, 14 of 16. Already he has thrown for 205 yards. Will have a false start. Moon has thrown for 3 touchdowns. 6.5 minutes left to go.
Prior to the snap. 63 offense. Second down.
Charlie, in the game that we had that you and I actually broadcast, the first time the Houston-Denver game was, as you're going to see Mike Munchak with the flinch. In the first half, Warren Moon was 11 for 15 for 200 yards. And so I think everybody anticipated being here in Denver that things were going to change. That was clear back in October. That has no relevance to today.
Wrong. It's relevant. Again, 14 of 16, 205 yards, 3 touchdowns. Moon goes deep, double coverage. And it is intercepted by Steve Atwater. The ground then calls the fumble. They are ruling that he had possession. Gibbons is arguing it, but he's going to lose that argument.
At the end of the play, I really believe that Steve Atwater just laid the ball down and hoping that one of the defenders is going to pick it up. You're going to see he doesn't actually fumble the ball. This is the one bad pass that Warren Moon has had today. Now watch at the end. He's got it right there. He's got a hold of it. Oh, that's close.
I know that was a, you know, it was kind of bobbling around on his stomach.
Actually, a very good athletic play by the 215-pounder. 5 interceptions this season, over 130 tackles. Steve Atwater was named All-Pro on AP and also Pro Bowl, but more importantly on my team at the end of the season.
Denver's in a hurry. They want to get the next playoff. Had football like a wobby on his stomach. This boxing there. Now they are going to review it.
Of course, this is the age-old argument. Did the ground cause the fumble, and did he have possession? It appeared that once he hit the ground that it was in his in the proverbial breadbasket, but we'll have another look from this angle.
Chuck Heberling, the replay official.
The pass was ruled late.
Is that possession right there?
On the field. It is being reviewed by replay.
It appeared that he had possession going down, and Jeffries, watch Jeffries. This is heads up trying to strip the ball away. Now he presses it to the 2. Does he have possession when he hits the ground? That's
questionable.
Very questionable.
You can go either way and be correct.
Difficult decision here on the part, as you mentioned, Chuck Eberling.
And so, usually in this case, the replay will not overrule the call on the field.
I think that when he had it to his chest there, when he was pressing it to the number 2.
And again, we're watching this in slow motion, so time is moves at a different tempo, you know, minutes like hours or hours
Once
like
his
minutes.
back hits the ground, it appears that the ball is pressed to the 2. I think that was a good call by the officials on the field.
And then again, he may not have had possession.
Well, they're taking the full 2 minutes to debate it.
Yeah.
Watch the right hand.
There.
He has it right there, but he hasn't hit the ground. Now, just as he hits the ground, the ball starts to come out. That's what Chuck Heberling has to look at prior to his hit.
After further review, the play stands.
Well, in a way, you could say that that's a break for the Denver Broncos, but of course they are on the 12-yard line. So, if you're a Houston fan, you could argue that was as good as a punt.
Justin's is served. Remember, Atwater had an interception earlier that was taken away by that penalty. Denver trailing 21-6.
Oh, no.
And they take a timeout.
They weren't in the right set. Coming out of a timeout, how can that happen? You have all the right people on the field. You've made the decision. Mistake by the Denver Broncos.
Back in a moment.
Last year, the average price of a car with standard anti-lock brakes was over $40,000. But today, all that's changed. Because the company that offers more models with standard anti-lock brakes than anyone also offers the lowest priced car in America with standard anti-lock brakes. Chevy Cavalier.
The heartbeat of America.
The cars more people depend on.
That's today's Chevrolet.
.3M salutes the Olympic athletes who found a better way. Whose ideas were so original, there's no going back.
That same innovative thinking helped us invent Post-it brand notes. And the way you leave messages has never been the same. 3M, innovation working for you.
From Little Caesars, 2 pizzas, 2 Crazy Breads, plus 2 servings of Coke Classic, all for $7.98. It's enough food to make a family meal into a party.
January 18th is All-Star Saturday on NBC. First, it's Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, and the greatest stars in hockey at the NHL All-Star Game. Then, celebrities from the worlds of sports and entertainment tee it up with the PGA's best at the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic. Hockey's All-Stars and stars of all sorts coming in 2 weeks to NBC Sports.
Denver with a first down at their own 12-yard line. Denver now with 2 timeouts remaining in the first half, and Houston with 2 timeouts remaining in the first half. Here's Gaston Green. The surge over the left side. He's going to pick up 6, maybe 7 yards on the play. Lee Williams in the tackle. Let's go back to what caused that last timeout.
Well, right here you can see Shannon Sharpe is not in the right position. Take a look at John Elway pointing him to the right and then pointing him back to the left. Now, where are you going? No. I gotta get over here someplace. Come on, get over there. Now Gaston Green moves. Now Shannon Sharpe moves. You can't understand it. We just have this play, for goodness sakes. He has to call timeout. Dan Reeves, needless to say, not terribly happy with him. Both jawing with one another on the sidelines.
2nd down and 5. As Denver continues to stay on the ground. Gaston Green wanted to work out. He's certainly getting it, isn't he?
Well, one of the things that he also said he was proud of is the fact that at 5'11" and 192, he could run between the tackles. You can see that right at the end of the run, the ball comes loose, but fortunately for him, it comes right back. 10 carries for 43 yards thus far for the UCLA grad.
Steve Sewell is now the remaining back in this shot at first down, and the pitch is to Sewell. He's going to throw it, and he does. The pass is complete, and out of bounds at the 35-yard line is a touchdown-scoring Vance Johnson, who told us he was going to be more involved in the game, that he was going to catch a lot of passes. When we asked Dan Reeves about it, he said, oh, he'll be involved, but I think he knew what he was doing.
Steve Sewell is one of only 2 people this season to have rushed for a touchdown, caught a touchdown, and thrown for a touchdown. Interestingly enough, you know who the other guy is?
Who?
John Elway. Showing his versatility here. Not exactly the most difficult throw in the world, but gets the first down.
It is on target, though. First down, Denver, their own 35-yard line. Houston leading it 21-6. Just over 4 minutes to go in the first half. Elway to throw. 4-man rush. Pass is complete at the Houston 45-yard line to Derek Russell. Johnson with the tackle, a gain of 20. And the Broncos are on the move for the 2nd time in the ballgame.
One of Jim Eddy's concerns was the fact that number 23, Richard Johnson, was playing too soft. Look how far off he is, the rookie Derek Russell. That's too much to give a rookie, especially here. He runs the 20-yard in, and John Elway can certainly find that opening.
Said he was playing soft because of a lack of confidence. We asked, why didn't you replace him? Said it would have destroyed his confidence.
And the confidence of cornerbacks who are out there on an island is very fragile.
First down at the 45. Here is Green. Can't get around the corner as he is cut down by Bubba McDowell.
Bubba McDowell was named 2nd team All-Pro by the AP, and he is an outstanding safety. It's just unfortunate that he has to be in the same conference with the likes of Steve Atwater, Dennis Smith, Ronnie Lott, Duron Cherry, et al. But there was a man that in the first Denver game had 12 tackles, recovered a block punt for a touchdown, and blocked a field goal. And when we asked him, was that the best game that you've ever had? He said, yeah, it is.
Yeah, come to think of it. We asked him about the Pro Bowl safeties of the Broncos. He said they deserve it. Shannon Sharpe. I'm wondering if this was the play that Elway wanted to run. is a different formation.
Well, you know, it's interesting.
But this time Sharp was in the right spot.
Shannon Sharp, when we talked with him yesterday, I said, Shannon, you know, you had a couple of catches there at the end of the season. He says, Todd, you know what? He says, I'm 6'2", 230. He says, I want to be a pass-catching tight end, just like you.
He didn't like to block either, is that it?
Well, I told him that. I said, you know, if you keep catching the ball, people will know that you're something other than Sterling Sharp's little brother.
Oh, you got him again.
No.
Third down.
He understood.
Five-man rush pass is complete for the first down, 34-yard line to Michael Young. And what a season he has had, the leading receiver for the Denver Broncos. 2-minute warning. Houston 21, Denver 6. Back in a moment.
Hey, sports fans, get a ticket to Bud Bowl 4, and you could win $1 million cash.
$1 million bucks?
But you can't get that ticket just anywhere.
Bud Bowl tickets? Huh? Bud Bowl tickets. Sorry. Bud Bowl tickets?
Bud Bowl.
Bud Bowl tickets.
Pick up your ticket where you buy Budweiser, Bud Light, and Bud Dry Draft beer. And you just might be a winner.
Hey, guys, is this the line for... You know, it's not that important. Never mind.
Bud Bowl 4. This time it's for $1 million bucks.
Like a rock. Of all the trucks in its class, only Chevy S10 Blazer gives you four-wheel anti-lock brakes standard, which helps you steer through a curve while braking. Without it, you don't have as much control. And why should that be important to you? Because in the real world, safety doesn't have to be an option.
Like a rock.
Chevy trucks.
Stand an arrow straight.
The trucks you can depend on. The trucks that last.
Like a rock.
In the spirit of the Olympic Games, the Postal Service would like to present... Two-day priority mail. That's delivery in just 2 days of up to 2 pounds for just $2.90. Remember, 2 days, 2 pounds, $2.90. 2-day priority mail from your Postal Service.
We deliver for you.
Official sponsor of the 1992 Olympic Games.
Love her, hold her, and remember our simple formula. At Dean Witter,
we measure success one investor at a time.
The key to this play is Steve Sewell back here is going to pick up the corner blitz on the part of number 29, Darrell Lewis. He actually comes across the formation. Otherwise, number 29 is going to sack Elway. Nice job by Steve Lewis in recognition. And do you think it's very tough to be a receiver out there? Take a look at the elbow that Michael Young takes from Lamar Lathan as he snatches the ball away, imploring to the official that it's Oiler ball.
Elway, 5 of 7, 49 yards, and a touchdown. To the 11-yard line, Ricky Natillo. 23 yards, first down.
Once again, too far off, but really this is Bo Orlando's play. He has to be reading John Elway. Look at how far off Richard Johnson is, but where's Bo Orlando in the middle of the field? Has to come over and make that play. Bo Orlando arrives late. Johnson, expecting inside help, doesn't get it.
First down, just outside the 11-yard line. 1:27 and counting. Time remaining. First half. Little shuttle pass underneath to Shire. 4-yard line. That may have been the play that they wanted to call at the other end when he was in the wrong set. We've got a timeout. We'll be back in a moment. Don't miss this.
To an engineer, Chevy Lumina APV is corrosion-proof polyurea body panels, molded ballistic cup resilience, modular seating for 7, computer modulated anti-lock brakes. But to a mom, the Chevy Lumina APV is a lot of innovation that makes her life
You guys did great.
a lot easier. No wonder more people depend on
The heartbeat of America.
And now it's easy to win with the heartbeat.
Some people perspire.
We sweat.
You need Arid Double X protection to help keep you extra, extra dry. And look, it's the only leading solid that doesn't leave a white, flaky mess.
Arid Double X helps keep us extra.
Extra dry.
You know what's smart? This Magnavox digital CD shelf system that's incredibly powerful
compact. But what's really smart is this Magnavox 8mm Easy Cam that weighs less than 2 pounds. But what's really brilliant is this 13-inch TV with a built-in VCR. But what's ingenious is this 31-inch with a smart window that lets you see other channels and swap the picture. You know what's smart? This Magnavox digital CD. Go away.
The ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart.
This year in Lake Edna, the best place to watch the big game was Al's Discount TV and Appliance Emporium. Knowing a good deal, Al got some KFC Super Buckets. He got 15-piece buckets, variety buckets with 3 kinds of chicken, and jumbo buckets of 36 hot wings, just $9.99 each. Everyone went home happy, especially Clara Campbell, who bought a juicer at halftime. New KFC Super Buckets, just $9.99. A great deal in Lake Edna or your neck of the woods.
Number 79, Ray Childers, the great defensive tackle for the Oilers. That back is bothering him again. He is now out of that defensive set. He has 4 tackles and 1 pass defender.
And one of those tackles for a loss, and that man right there has got to be a little bit frustrated, because I think that's one of the reasons why the Broncos are driving so well, is number 79 is not in the game.
See, Jack, he told us also that they want to have a contain rush on Elway.
Doesn't everybody? Easier said than done.
Second and short, 4-yard line. Elway throws to a 1-yard line. Flag is down in the end zone.
We're going to catch Chris Dishman for defensive holding. Here's an interesting point that I wanted to make at that last play. Assuming that the Broncos get in the end zone, I thought with 1:11 that they had plenty of time to get up there and do what it is they wanted to do. What happens now is with the defensive holding of Dishman, now if they get it at the 1-yard line, regardless of what they want to do, if they score on, say, the first play, then there's going to be time left for the Houston offense.
Holding, 28 defense is declined. First down.
Chris Dishman, all-pro cornerback this year. You can see he's going to get tangled up with Russell. Now watch Russell push off. He knows he's going to the outside. That's ticky-tack. You got to give the corner that much of an edge. That's ticky-tack. You never saw the jersey get pulled out. Dishman, 6 interceptions, 7 straight games this season where he had a turnover.
Keith Traylor, the linebacker, is the lead blocker. Greg Lewis, the ball carrier, the rookie from Central Oklahoma, number 54. Keith Traylor, 6'2", 260 pounds. In that set is the fullback. The reason is Robert Perryman, as you know, out a few weeks ago because of that knee injury.
Well, that's all well and good, but he didn't do the job that time. Al Smith and company came in and stuffed the offensive line of the Denver Broncos.
But now, one thing is happening that you were talking about is that the clock now is moving.
And they have a second down. They have plenty of time.
They don't want Warren Moon and company on the field in the second half if they can help it. But Moon will have 39 seconds. Denver scores.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, illegal celebration, 89 offense. The 5-yard penalty will be picked up on the kickoff.
Now that's the second time we've had that penalty in this ball game. This is a divisional playoff game. Let's get rid of that rule.
Well, I agree with you.
I mean, that's crazy.
But the one that gets me is, wasn't it Greg Lewis that scored the touchdown?
That's right. Yes, he should celebrate.
What's Reggie Johnson doing?
I don't know. It just shows you that Greg Lewis is smarter than Richie Johnson.
I guess.
Here's the extra point, and remember, they missed the last one. It's a high snap. But Kubiak brings it down, and we've got flags flying.
If it's from the back, Judge, maybe Houston had too many people on the field.
And we still have those 39 seconds remaining in the first half.
Well, if this is something that's assessed on the kickoff and it went against Houston, then it'll even out. They'll kick off from the 35, right?
Here's the call.
12 men on the field. Defense. The extra point is good. The penalty will be marched off on the kickoff. Both penalties will be assessed from the kickoff.
So now does this mean they go back to the 30, make the motion, and then come all the way back to the 35? Very demonstrative. Take a look at the lead block by Keith Traylor. Does he do the job this time? Is he ready to move to the offensive side of the ball? Watch number 54 coming in on the other 54. Well, he gets stuffed in the hole, but he occupies Al Smith long enough for Greg Lewis to fall over for the 6 points. That's one of the most competitive men I have ever met, Dan Reeves.
The kickoff from the 35, high and short. Coleman takes it at the 15. Slips a tackle at the 20. Clock continues to move as he is finally down at the 22-yard line. Be sure to stay with us at halftime for the Domino Pizza's NFL Live halftime report. Bob, Bill, Will, and O.J. will be along with the first half analysis, along with interviews with some of the Washington Redskins talking about their victory over the Atlanta Falcons, as well as a preview of tomorrow's big game between the Bills and the Chiefs. And that's all coming up at halftime. And in case you missed it earlier, Washington defeated the Falcons 24-7 in the rain in the nation's capital.
Now, because of the fact that they had the short kickoff, if they would have had a little bit better return, I think they would have gone for it with 32 seconds left. But I'd be very surprised here if the Houston Oilers don't just sit on it, go into halftime content with an 8-point lead. Then again, I could be wrong.
Goes back to the other side to Curtis Duncan. Duncan down at the 25-yard line, as you know by now.
See, this doesn't.
The ground cannot cause a
This
fumble.
doesn't make any sense. You've got the momentum. You know, even though Denver has scored, you've got a little bit momentum here. Hand the ball one time to Lorenzo White and get the thing over with. Now they don't even have to have a play. Why are they coming up? They're not going to score in the last 15 seconds.
Hurry up offense from the 25. Moon bobbled the exchange, throws sideline. Duncan out of bounds, stops the clock with 6 seconds.
This just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, it doesn't. Unless Warren has some sort of clause in his contract for yards in the first half, there's 6 seconds left. The only thing that can happen here is bad, and that's if they get it picked off. Denver could turn right around and kick a field goal. This certainly shows the confidence that Kevin Gilbride and Jack Pardee have in number 1.
And also it shows the fact that this is their offense. And they feel very confident about throwing the football. It's a long handoff. Trips, 3 wide receivers on the near side and 1 on the far side. White just across the 40-yard line, and that will run out the time in the first half. Denver with the momentum at the end of the first half, but they trail 21-13.
I think the Houston Oilers had it early, but certainly that touchdown by Denver has to give them some momentum heading into the second half.
We look forward to the second half, but right now, let's go to New York and Bob Costas. Bob?
All right, Charlie, coming up now on the Domino's Pizza halftime report, we'll bring you highlights and player reaction from the Redskins' win over the Falcons. We'll have first half analysis of the Oilers and Broncos from Bill, Will, and O.J., and we'll preview tomorrow's other AFC Divisional playoff in Buffalo between the Bills and the Chiefs. We'll get started right after this message from the NFL and the proverbial word from your local stations.
The National Football League is concerned about many of the problems that affect our youth: drugs, malnutrition, and the quality of education that they receive. That's why the NFL, through NFL Charities, has joined other business leaders to support America 2000, a community-based voluntary effort to create a new generation of American schools. Commissioner Paul Tagliabue.
The people in our league are local and national leaders. who want to see that today's students receive the best possible education. That's why NFL Charities is involved.
The Denver Broncos have worked in partnership with the public sector, private business, and local volunteers to help our children. We have recently been involved with Colorado 2000, a statewide strategy to transform our schools into the best in the world.
Improving our nation's schools and educating tomorrow's leaders. That's the task before us. I'm confident that NFL Charities can help achieve that goal.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
They're mean. They're under the damn ground. They're here. Where do they come from? I vote for outer space. They're hungry.
This valley is just one long smorgasbord.
And they won't stop until they bring home the bacon. Kevin Bacon, Reba McEntire, Fred Ward. Just when you thought it was safe to go outside. Tremors coming to NBC Sunday, January 12th.
Don't forget the big screen TVs. It's January clearance time at the Wiz, and the warehouse is jumping. We're moving all our merchandise into our stores before inventory. Get the camcorders on. Everything's going. Every brand, every model. Everything from VCRs to cellular phones, video movies, cassettes, and compact discs. The best thing is we're slashing prices on hundreds of items. We want to sell them, not count them. The January in-store warehouse clearance sale. Nobody beats the Wiz.
You know, I'm tired of hearing American cars can't compete. Says who? Danny? Ha! Give me a break.
The people who know say Ford Taurus is more car than Honda Accord. Taurus has more power, more room, and more available safety features like anti-lock brakes. And Taurus offers 2 airbags, his and hers. I say that's a lot more car for the money.
Now get cash back or low financing on a new Ford Taurus.
Go on, do it. See your Tri-State quality Ford dealer and see for yourself.
Subway vigilante Bernard Getz. Now it can be told.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL Live Halftime Report. Brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Nobody knows like Domino's how you like pizza at home.
Okay, the Oilers leading the Broncos by the score of 21-13 at the half. Denver with a missed extra point in case you missed it. Moon with the 3 touchdown passes for Houston. For more on the first half, back to Denver. Here's OJ. Juice?
Well, Bob, I had a chance to talk to Wade Phillips, defensive coordinator of the Broncos, and say, well, what are you going to do to slow this Houston team down in the second half? He says, OJ, our game plan is working. We're doing pretty much what we wanted to do. He said, we wanted to be like buzzards. We're going to be patient and hopefully get a couple of turnovers. He said, we got 2 turnovers, but they got 1 of them back because of a penalty. In the second half, we got to get at least 2 more turnovers, and maybe we can turn this thing around. I also had a chance to talk to Ray Childress going off the field. He said it wasn't his cracked ribs that was bothering him. It's his lower back. You'll see when he blocked that pass, he really wasn't putting much pressure on the quarterback. He has a lower back problem. His words is, I won't return in the second half, but they're going to put a heat pad on it when he gets in the locker room, and maybe there's a chance he will come back. But at this point, Ray Childress is not coming back, Bob.
OJ, thanks. We'll check with you throughout the day. Houston with the 21-13 lead. As OJ said, they got the 1 interception Denver did, and Steve Atwater got it. But perhaps the turning point of the game, we may look back on this, is the one he had, which was negated by the penalty.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. They, you know, that was a big play, and that's what Denver has to do to stop Houston, because they haven't proved that they can stop them without making turnovers. You know, Moon has moved the ball. They just got to hope that he'll make some mistakes like this and they can capitalize on it.
But this one was a 14-point swing, at least potentially. And look how long the run back is by Atwater. They would have been in field goal range at least. Maybe they could have scored a touchdown. Instead, yardage was tacked on because of the roughing the passer call, and shortly after that, they cashed in with another touchdown pass to Curtis Duncan. It became 21-6 instead of maybe 14-13.
Yeah, that's right. But the problem here for Denver has been the inability to stop basically the Houston's offense. You just can't rely on the turnover. You got to execute some plays. Now, they put a guy in motion here, which gives Moon an idea of whether it's man-to-man or zone. Basically, they want to create 2 receivers on one side, 2 receivers on the other side to spread the field automatically. That'll dictate man or zone. You can see easily by the way the Denver secondary follows, it's an easily readable zone for Warren Moon. You see the guy just trotting across casually. Moon knows it's a zone. He looks front side. He comes back. He finds the receivers. Unless Denver does something about this, Bob, it's going to be a long day.
Okay, now we've got one entrant in next Sunday's NFC Championship game. The Washington Redskins beat the Atlanta Falcons early today at RFK in a steady downpour. The score was 24-7. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. Playing mind games, Jerry Glanville doesn't just send captains, he sends the entire team out for the opening toss of the coin, and then he tries to use a Redskin helmet to fire his team up. But what counts is what happens on the field, and through the slop, here goes Ricky Irvins for an early touchdown run of 16 yards, puts them up 7-0. Atlanta turned the ball over 6 times today. Miller was sacked 4 times. They fumbled twice, and he also threw 4 interceptions. This one is picked off by the veteran Monty Coleman. That was the 4th of the 4 interceptions and sealed their fate in the 4th quarter. And look, they rub it in. John Brandis celebrating the victory.
A run-and-shoot offense in a weather like this, just like a gun with one bullet, you know, it's enabled us to really be us, because our offense, they've done a great job considering, you know, the weather factor. And that's all we do is pass. That's the downfall about having an offense like that.
An opportunity was there for us to shock the world, and, you know, and we didn't do it.
All right, so the Redskins will play either the Cowboys or the Lions next Sunday. How did they do this year against those teams? Well, they beat the Cowboys in Dallas in a close Monday night game early, 33-31, then lost at home Week 13 to the Cowboys. Meanwhile, the Skins crushed the Lions 45-0, but remember, that was Week 1. Barry Sanders did not play for Detroit, Will.
Let me say one thing first before we go on about what Micaiah and Sanders said. You know, Houston's getting a great break with the weather in Denver today. But back to Washington. During the week, I was talking to Joe Bugle, the coach of the Cardinals, who's very familiar with what they do in Washington. He said in the offseason, Joe Gibbs did a brilliant thing. Knowing he was going to play 3 run-and-shoot teams during the regular season, he brought in run-and-shoot experts from all around the country to Washington for a week, getting ready to defense the run-and-shoot. Look at the results. 4 games against run-and-shoot teams, they've only given up 9 points a game. When the run-and-shoot teams play everybody else, they average 22.7 points per game, a swing of 14 points. So they have done a brilliant job. And if I were Washington, I'd say, bring on Detroit. We'd like to play another run-and-shoot team the way they've played the run-and-shoot teams this year.
Yeah, tomorrow's Detroit-Dallas game, even though Detroit beat them soundly early in the year, that's rated pretty much a toss-up. But you got to believe, as Will says, if you're the Redskins, you would rather see Detroit come to RFK than a Dallas team you barely beat in their place and that did beat you in your place.
Yeah, but you know why?
Why?
Because Detroit has never won in RFK. They've played there 15 times, and the last time Detroit beat, Detroit beat the Redskins, they were the Boston Redskins, and Will was covering that team back in 1927.
It was 1927?
I think so.
1935 was the year I was born, Bob, but I remember the game well.
Well, we'll have more on that when the McDonough and Parcells sagas continue at a later date. When we come back, we'll preview tomorrow's other AFC divisional playoff between Kansas City and Buffalo. But first, these messages from your local station.
When American drug agents landed in Colombia, they had one mission: to take out the world's most powerful cocaine cartel. This is the story of their war and their victory. Drug Wars, the Cocaine Cartel, on NBC, January 19th.
We have a new attitude for serving customers. You have to make people feel good about coming into your place.
People come in, they want to see a friendly face, so I give them a smile.
Prices are low down. Regular hamburger, 59 cents.
Sometimes I tell people the price and they say, that's it. Cheeseburger, 69 cents.
Sausage biscuit,
79 cents.
Breakfast burrito, 99 cents. We are there to perform and to do it right. We want to keep them coming back. That's what it's all about.
Subway vigilante Bernard Getz. Now it can be gold.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL Live Halftime Report. Brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Nobody knows like Domino's how you like pizza at home.
Okay, the winner of today's Houston-Denver game will play the winner of tomorrow's Kansas City-Buffalo game and next Sunday's AFC Championship. The Bills and Chiefs met back in Week 6 on a Monday night when the Tomahawk Chop was at the height of its craze. Marv Levy was a little crazed as well. His Bills entered the game at 5-0, but nothing went right. Both Christian Okoye and Harvey Williams ran for over 100 yards, and the Chiefs marched through a Buffalo defense playing without Bruce Smith and Jeff Wright. Jim Kelly was sacked 6 times, 4 of them by Derek Thomas. The Bills lost 5 fumbles, too, as the Chiefs handed Buffalo their worst defeat of the year.
was just one of those games that every bounce, everything went their way, and it's one of those ones, forget about it.
They'll remember that game, and I'm sure that, you know, they'll look over the film in that game just as we will look over the film and understand and realize that wasn't the Buffalo team that everybody is used to seeing.
I don't think after they played us that game, they really haven't been consistent with the way they played throughout the rest of the year. I think we've been more consistent the way we played. You know, we didn't have Jeff Wright or Bruce Smith then, so, you know, we got our players back, and we're a different team right now.
All right, what do you think?
I think Buffalo's going to win the ball game, Bob. I think that they're very tough to beat at home. They'll have the crowd going for them, which will be a big advantage.
I think the Kansas City running game, which is really a half a running game because it's inside the tackles, is going to have to do it for the Chiefs tomorrow if they're going to have any chance.
Now, granted, they got questions about DeBerg, but I think Kansas City, while not likely to win, has a better chance to beat them than either the Oilers or Denver.
I agree with you.
All right, on that rare note of agreement, we'll send you back for the second half kickoff from Mile High Stadium right after this message.
This winter, sports' biggest stars are on NBC. Michael leads the world champs against Isaiah and the Pistons. Detroit heads to Boston to battle Larry Bird and the Celtics. A rematch of last year's NBA Finals as the Bulls take on the Lakers. And a day of shooting stars at the All-Star Game. The NBA's just beginning on NBC. Come fly with us.
It is halftime. With us. It is halftime, Mile High Stadium. Houston leads at 21-13. I'm Charlie Jones, along with Todd Christensen.
Well, one of the things that stands out, some of the key plays in the first half, I mean, right off the bat, there's a 50-yard throw to Haywood Jeffries that culminated with Jeffries on the slant for the touchdown. Diving catch there for number 84. As we mentioned, 100 catches this season, only the 6th player to have ever accomplished that feat. Now, this questionable interception by Steve Atwater becomes a pivotal play because right after this, John Elway turns around and drives the team nearly 90 yards to get their touchdown and their momentum heading into the second half. This is going to be a pivotal play because this now means that the Denver Broncos have to score one more time than they wanted to. A little bit of a bad snap. Kubiak can't quite get it down. Treadwell hooks it left, and now it's 21-13. Now look at the Coors Light halftime statistics. The passing yards, of course, stand out, 216 to 92. But interestingly enough, one of the things here is the percentage. 16 of 19 for Warren Moon, 8 for 10 for John Elway. I would look for the ball to be in the air an awful lot here in the second half.
And Denver will have first offensive opportunity in the second half. Here is Montgomery on the return to the 29-yard line. So Denver scoring at the end of the first half with 39 seconds left. pulling within 8, 21-13 because of that missed extra point. And still they haven't really thrown the ball that much.
Well, again, you know, earlier in the game when you looked at Houston just totally dominating the Broncos, again, you have to look back at the scoreboard. There's only an 8-point differential, and there's 30 minutes to play.
Elway throwing only 10 times in the first half, completing 8 of them. And here is Gaston Green. So Denver determined to stay on the ground. A gain of 4 to the 33. It'll be second down and 6.
Might want to note that Jeff Alm, number 76 for the Houston Oilers, coach, defensive coordinator Jim Eddy said that he would get his playing time. Well, now, because of the back problems of Ray Childress, he's going to get more than just a little bit of playing time.
One more number that stands out in the first half, a total of 14 penalties were accepted. More than that, of course, called. Houston 9 times for 60 yards, Denver 5 times for 55. Second down and 6. Sewell is the remaining back for the Broncos. A passing formation. Flags are down. Houston in the neutral zone. Free play. It is incomplete. It'll be 5 yards against the Oilers. Michael Young, the intended receiver. And I believe it was Jeff Alm that got into the neutral zone.
Well, we just mentioned the fact that the youngster is now in the game because of the tightening up of Ray Childress's back, and he's a little bit anxious to get up the field. Jim Eddy said he wanted his defensive tackles to be upfield rushers to contain Elway, but in that case, almost a little over anxious.
And with the penalty, it'll be second down and 1.
76 defense. Still second down.
That man right there, vital in the first half, did a nice job of getting upfield. Now he's replaced by a youngster. He's enthusiastic, but again, that's another mental error, and we've had a lot of them today for 2 teams that are in the playoffs. Elway lucky to get this one back. Bo Orlando does a nice job of anticipation, but his vertical leap isn't quite enough to come down with the football.
Second down and 1. Sharp is in motion. Green has the first down to the 41-yard line. Gain of 3, first down and 10. And of course, one of the reasons that Denver is running the ball so much is they are very aware of the clock. They want to keep the ball out of Warren Moon's hands.
Well, that's true.
So does everybody else.
That's true, but I also think that Denver is just a little bit more concerned with getting themselves some continuity offensively, and it seemed like that they had captured that at the end of the first half.
As you look at John Elway, John, I think this year having more fun being the national celebrity that he is. Remember when he told us in San Diego that now he goes out to the grocery store and he signs autographs and visits with people? In the past, he would have stayed at home. We asked him how was Christmas. He said it was fabulous. I was with the family, and I saw a lot of friends, and I saw a lot of fans, and I really enjoyed it. This time, Gaston Green is dropped. Sean Jones and Al Smith were there for Houston.
Well, Al Smith, built like the fireplace, comes right through the middle. Watch him come over the lead blocker. Watch number 54. He knifes in over the guard, cuts across Shannon Sharp, and makes the play on Gaston Green. Earlier in the season, I asked Al Smith, I said, you know, you're a middle linebacker in the 4-3, and maybe you don't get the notoriety that you deserve because of Warren Moon in the offense, but this year he did, selected to the Pro Bowl, 143 tackles.
Outside of Elway's long pass, which of course had the offsides penalty, the other 3 plays in the first half have all been the run. Here's the screen to Sewell. Sewell with the first down, 45-yard line of Houston. 16 yards on the play.
Now, when John Elway double clutches, take a close look and see whether or not there were some offensive linemen downfield. This is a middle screen is what this is called. They release. Now watch the double clutch. They wait. Went down. Look how far downfield he is. He's at least 4 yards downfield. They got away with one. Sewell with the first down.
And does Sewell remind you of one Dan Reeves when he was in Dallas with his versatility?
Well, a lot of these plays are Dallas plays. They ran a lot of the middle screen, and they ran some shovel pass there when he was an offensive coordinator under John Landry.
Here is Sewell to the 30, the 25. Ball knocked away, but out of bounds. 26-yard line. Denver retains possession. Vance Johnson with a lead block, 18 yards.
Houston comes out cold. They're rocking on their heels. Sean Jones there to make the play, but does not. And Sewell cutting to the outside. Bo Orlando knocks the ball loose, but a little bit too close to the sidelines. Steve Sewell, awfully tall for a running back, 6'4" and about 212 pounds, but his versatility has been invaluable to the Denver Broncos.
Russell goes wide to the far side, Young wide to this side, with Johnson in the slot left. you were just resetting the clock. This is where Vance Johnson likes to be because he does sight adjustments on what the defense does, and Elway will look to improve. It is intercepted at the 8-yard line. Richard Johnson has the interception. And he is out of bounds.
That man just cannot be too happy with himself. Richard Johnson has been burned the last couple of times, but now he comes back and burns the Broncos. It'll be the Oilers' ball when we come back.
Freedom. It's the spirit which moves the Cutlass Supreme, a car intelligently engineered to free your eyes, your hands, your senses. Introducing the new Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. The look may change, but the spirit remains the same. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Alpha 1 is Alpha 2. Enemy squad in open. Moving north on foot.
Sergeant, here's the latest intelligence report.
I'll post it right away, Sergeant. Sir, enemy position is confirmed at Copy.
Step off.
Army Reserve, Montgomery GI Bill, skill training and more.
Listen to the trees. They're trying to tell us something about what our polluted air is doing to them and to us. Fortunately, there's an answer. Natural gas, the cleanest burning fossil fuel we have. It can help save the air and everything that lives in it. Listen to the trees, because air pollution is a problem hanging over all of us. Use natural gas and we'll all breathe easier.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering. By UPS, offering 10:30 guaranteed overnight air delivery. By Domino's Pizza. Nobody knows like Domino's how you like pizza at home. And by Dean Witter. There are many ways to measure success. Dean Witter measures success one investor at a time.
Mile High Stadium quieting down just a bit. Houston with the ball. Richard Johnson, his first interception of the season. Oilers ball, first down, their own 33. They lead 21-13. Moon has pressure, still completes the pass to Drew Hill. To the 45-yard line, and a gain of 12, first down as Moon slowly gets to his feet.
The play that Richard Johnson made that enabled the Denver Broncos to get the ball back. Great anticipation. Richard Johnson right here plays him outside in, but he's going to guess here on the slant route, playing back enough. He'd been burned earlier by the same route, but his anticipation is tremendous here. Out on an island, cuts right in front of the receiver, and gets the ball back. Watch the anticipation on the part of Richard Johnson. Strangely enough, Charlie, in 18 games, that is his first interception of the season.
Lorenzo White. 5 yards to the 50. It is second down and 5.
We made a big deal out of the home field advantage for the Denver Broncos coming into this game. Ironically enough, this is a game of matchups. Houston leads the series 20-11-1, and they're not intimidated by Mile High Stadium at all. That 20-11-1, a 63-64% winning percentage, is the best that they have against any team in the National Football League.
You played here against the Broncos. Is it an intimidating stadium, intimidating crowd?
I mentioned the fact that the Mile High Stadium reminds me a little bit of Boston Garden in the NBA. Funky things always seem to happen to go Denver's way.
Second and 5. Knocked away. Good defensive play by Charles Dimler. And this is the man that Moon has been picking on.
Well, again, it's a situation where the referee has a judgment call. You can see Dimry will have the right hand on Haywood Jeffries. But he does make a good play, good anticipation. Steps back right there. He's got the arm all over him.
Hudson, I got a fistful of jersey in the back. Right there.
The argument that the official has to make right there is, does the hand touch the jersey first before the ball or not? In this case, the official decided that it didn't. I think it was a good non-call.
Third down. Houston is 4 of 4 third down opportunities in this ballgame. Let's see where they mark it. It'll be 5 of 5. They're going to spot it at the 45-yard line. White brought down by Michael Brooks.
Here is a very subtle difference here of having the running back Lorenzo White versus having Alan Pinkett. When Lorenzo White catches the ball here, he's going to be short of the first down. But the 215, 220 pounds of momentum which comes forward is much more than the 190 or 192 pounds that Pinkett has to offer. Right there, he lunges forward over the stripe. First down for Houston.
Dimmery limps out. Montgomery has replaced him. And so the Broncos continue to fight the injury battle. And here is White. First down. 34-yard line. He picks up 11.
This man has been angry all season long. He has not been a starter throughout the entire regular season. In their first playoff game against the New York Jets, they realized that they have to beef up their protection. The bodyguard for Warren Moon is the offensive back. In this case, Lorenzo White. Last week, he had 17 carries for 65 yards. This week, as you just saw right there, 9 carries for 40 yards. And more importantly, where Warren Moon is concerned, he's been protecting him.
Number 22, Alton Montgomery, as you see in the ball game, replacing Charles Dimmery. Montgomery is one of the return men for the Broncos. They would like to play this game without him being in the defensive secondary. And here is White again. This is his 10th carry of the ball game. He goes to the 29, picks up 5. So in 10 carries, he now has 45 yards. Simon Fletcher makes the tackle. We talked to Simon Fletcher yesterday. He told us his mother, Ethel, who lives in Houston, was not coming to the game since she'd been to the Super Bowl. She considers herself a possible jinx. And he mentioned that she was named after Ethel Mertz of I Love Lucy.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes. Yeah.
I thought I got to charge of it. Hey, let me ask you something, Charlie.
Right.
How long do you think it's going to take Warren Moon to find Alton Montgomery?
This play. The next play. Lorenzo White, when he decides to throw.
You were absolutely right. Lorenzo White found Alton Montgomery. He came up to make the tackle and missed it. And as a result, it appears that they have the first down. To go a little bit farther with the Lorenzo White story, beginning the season, he held out. And as a result of holding out, Alan Pinkett in the first 2 games of the season had 100-yard gains. Now, why are they going to change? And they didn't. He's been an angry man all year long, and now when it's money time, Lorenzo White is there, and Alan Pinkett finds himself a spectator.
And remember, he also told us that in the offseason, he worked on his leg strength because he wanted to be strong at the end of the season, and he is showing that. Moon comes back, pass is complete to Gibbons, and he is brought down by Lilo Line.
Let me reiterate the point once again, Charlie. Look at the smile that man has on his face. He's had a broken nose. He's taken shots. People who watch a lot of replay will know that one of the more famous replays that you see is one where he takes a catch, and Allen of the Philadelphia Eagles knocks him cold, and he's laying prostrate on the ground. The man is 5'9", 172 pounds, and he has to go in the middle of the field. I really admire that toughness.
Dimmery back in the ball game.
Charlie, to further that point just a little bit, not one of the Fab Four have missed a game due to injury since 1989.
Dimmery in this ball game, as usual, will play both corners. We'll see him on the right corner part of the time. We'll see him on the left corner where he is now. And Warren Moon looks up. He'll take a timeout. 6:06 left to go. We're the third. Houston leads at 21-13.
Dean Witter believed one thing that should distinguish his brokers is their ability to listen.
Listen not only to what our clients say, but what they mean.
I have a vision about retirement. I know
each client has a level of comfort.
You know me. I'm a planner.
There is no greater dividend a firm can earn than the confidence of its clients.
You've helped me make some good decisions.
There are many ways to measure success.
We measure success one investor at a time.
The power of intelligent engineering is routinely put to the test at Oldsmobile. And here's the result. Of all the Cutlass Sierras ever sold in the last 10 years, we can say 96% are still on the road. Safely say. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Available now for $12,695 with Air and V6 engine.
What better way to start 1992 than to tell you about Domino's great new two-pizza deal? It's Domino's double-up deal. 2 medium pizzas each with 1 topping, just $10.99. $10.99?
$10.99.
Domino's makes your pizzas fresh when you call and gets them there in 30 minutes or less. So if you want a lot of great pizza for a little price for you and your whole family, nobody knows like Domino's how you like our double-up deal for just $10.99. How did he do that?
Tuesday.
Where's your mom?
She don't die.
Gillespie reaches out to a young boy left alone in the world on a special all-new Heat. Then an actress is brutally attacked by an obsessed fan.
I didn't want to hurt her.
Why me?
Ripped from today's headlines.
If he can't have her, he'll make sure no one else does.
All new Law and Order after Heat, NBC Tuesday.
The Houston Oilers have had the ball for 5 minutes and 24 seconds, and so as a result, Atwater, Smith, and Kroll coming on the blitz. They want to create some kind of turnover. But Warren Moon, with the savvy veteran leadership, says, we're not taking any chances. Let's call timeout and think it over.
2nd and 4 at the 18. The crowd back in the ball game for Denver. Moon is in trouble. Still manages to stagger forward to the 15-yard line. He salvages 3 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 1 before Sauché and Mecklenburg bring him down.
One of the most impressive things about Warren Moon, everybody knows the guy has a gun for an arm. Everybody knows that he can lay it in there. But that's the 3rd time today that he has made something happen out of nothing with his running ability. He was sacked for a 5-6-yard loss, has a little 360 in the middle of the field, kind of a Baryshnikov thing. And I know he'd get mad at me if I told him that now he's at 35 years of age, he runs like a 5-1. But that was a terrific play right there, because now they come up with a very makeable 3rd and 2.
Remember what Wade Phillips, defensive coordinator of Denver, told us? You know about his arm. Remember his strength. 5 of 5 on 3rd downs. It is incomplete. Almost 6 of 6. Jeffries cannot pull it in.
Very catchable ball, and you can see the consternation on the face of Jack Hardy. He's really disappointed. What happens is a receiver a lot of times will try to decide, do I want to backhand it or I want to forehand it? Take a look at the hands of Haywood Jeffries. He can't decide at the last minute. It's too high. He goes with the backhand. It squeezes right between the 2 of them. He's got to come up and try to chest that ball because he knows he's going to get hit.
32-yard field goal attempt. Matthews to Montgomery to the kicker. It is no good. Al Del Greco misses to the right from 32 yards away. We'll be back to Mile High in a moment.
It didn't happen in Germany, nor in Japan. It happened right here. An all-new car, born of intelligent engineering. The Oldsmobile 88 Royale. You've seen it, now come drive it. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Now, get 2.9% APR financing for up to 48 months.
Gillette presents Sensor, the system, the technology that will change the way you shave forever. Sensor, twin blades set on springs to read your face and respond. Independent suspension to sense and adjust to every curve of your face. No other razor comes close. Gillette Sensor, for the best shave a man can get.
Each year, corporate America spends over $10 billion on overnight shipping. Yet, according to a report in the Wall Street Journal, $3 billion of that is wasted. If you find that kind of inefficiency alarming, call UPS. We can save you up to 40% on overnight deliveries and help prevent your profits from going up in smoke. UPS, we run the tightest ship in the shipping business.
They want you at the meetings, the dinners, you in 2 places at once. So you can't be held back by a preset limit on a bank card. What you need is something that's behind you. The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Okay, the Boston Garden thing, maybe they have their leprechauns. I guess the Denver Broncos have their ponies. Perfect snap, perfect hold. It's 32 yards right down the middle. That's about a 90% proposition in the NFL. It goes wide. No excuse. No excuse.
Houston had the ball for 6 minutes and 21 seconds and came away with no points on this drive. Denver takes over. First down at their own 20-yard line, trailing 21-13. And they stay with the ground game. Gaston Green to the 25-yard line. It'll be second down and 5. Do you have the feeling this could come down the last 2 or 3 minutes of the ball game?
It could, but because of the curious way of the missed extra point, we're not going to have overtime. Somebody's going to have to make some big plays at the end. Again, it's interesting to note out that Houston has yet really to stop themselves. Their drives have ended, one with the Atwater interception, the end of the first half, and in this case, a missed field goal. We haven't seen Greg Montgomery all day.
Except to hold.
Excuse me, thank you. All right.
Elway, pushed down, 33-yard line. He's fun to watch, isn't he?
Well, Lee Williams had a terrific rush. It appeared that he had him in his sights, but that's what makes John Elway so special, and this is something you just can't coach. He feels arm under, he gets right past Sean Farrell, but he goes a little bit too far. Elway steps up, and right there, it looks like he's going to get tackled. Comes back, William Fuller gets him down, but not before he has the first.
And the Stanford grad, 4 carries, 30 yards rushing. Green, by the way, 15 carries, 54 yards on the ground for Denver. First down to the 33, Elway to throw. He comes back to Vance Johnson. 37-yard line.
Jim Eddy was telling us that Vance Johnson, he feels like, is not the downfield receiver that he once was. That predominantly now he catches those types of routes which are called squats, running across the middle of the field and sitting down in the dead spot of the zone. Watch number 82. Backpedal right there, just in the middle of the zone, waiting. Catches the ball, takes a shot from Al Smith. So everyone is concerned with him downfield, but you know, the guy did win the 60 meters at the NCAA at Arizona.
There's that Utah pass that you like.
Now, that's a nice job by Bobby Greer stepping in. Last time when they played the Houston Oilers, they did the same thing. The ball was dropped. Dishman picked it up and ran in for a score, and the official never called it as it properly should have been, which is an incomplete pass. Even though it's behind the line of scrimmage, it is a forward pass.
Little shuttle pass.
You can see right there, Shannon Sharp looked up much too soon. He was too excited to run with the ball. Watch the head right there, already looking upfield as the ball hits him between the 8 and the 1. Good job by the officials on the field being on top of that.
Elway 10 of 14, 102 yards, a touchdown and an interception, 3rd and 6 from the shotgun. It is caught, Michael Young, 31-yard line, 31 yards.
Okay, John Elway has a quarterback rating of 76.8. That's 9th in the AFC. Are you really telling me that there are 8 quarterbacks in the AFC you'd rather have than John Elway that could make that throw right there, right on the money in the corner route? Darrell Lewis actually has pretty good coverage. He's stride for stride with Michael Young. John Elway puts it the only place it could have been. That's the magic right there that sets John Elway apart from the other quarterbacks. He comes up with a big play.
First down, Houston 31. To Gaston Green, he can't get to it. You're trying to slip Green out of the backfield. It'll be second down and 10, back at the 31-yard line.
Give Johnny Meats credit. That's an out-and-up route by Gaston Green out of the backfield. That's exactly the matchup that the Denver Broncos wanted, but the veteran Johnny Meats, number 91, was with him stride for stride. Fakes the block, comes to the outside. This is actually called a swing route, and he runs down the field in hopes of getting somebody who has better speed than Meats, which certainly Green does, but Meads does a good job of anticipating that particular route.
And it is second down and 10. Houston leads at 21-13. 2:14 left to go, third quarter. Throwback screen, and it is Shannon Sharp. And this time Elway underthrew it. It'll be third down and 10.
You can see, look at Ernest Gibbons laughing right there. He said something to John Elway trying to catch his goat. Ernest Gibbons and Vance Johnson are the 2 king trash talkers, and I wonder why it is that it's always those Smurf receivers that are always running their mouths.
Here's what you were talking about.
not happy with himself. He looks over and Ernest says, "Oh, gee, that's a shame. Really sorry about that incompletion." I don't know if anybody has any more fun than that man, number 81, Ernest Gibbons, with the hat on right now. Try not to mess up what little hair he has left.
Denver 4 of 6 on third down. Elway throws it, almost intercepted by Dishman. Elway was getting all kinds of pressure. Sewell, the intended receiver, will be 4th down and 10. And he got away with one because Dishman should have had it.
Well, now Treadwell, this will be interesting. Everybody talks about the thin air and everything else, but as indicated by the kickoffs that Treadwell has had at this point, I think he might be a little bit out of his range. You're right. I think Dishman wishes he had this one back.
Treadwell's longest this season is 47. From the 39, a 49-yard attempt, so that's right on the ragged edge. It's wobbly, but he does it.
Morning breath.
As soon as I have my coffee, it's all gone.
Whether you admit it or not, it's a problem.
Okay, I have morning breath, but it doesn't bother anyone.
Don't be so sure.
Mine's not so bad.
Morning breath's not as bad as you think. It's worse. So get Scope. Its 2 powerful ingredients kill 90% of the bacteria that cause morning breath.
Was my morning breath really that bad?
There's no denying morning breath, so save your breath with Scope.
In a world of constant change, there is one certainty. The financial strength of the rock. The Prudential. Rock solid.
Freedom. It's the spirit which moves the Cutlass Supreme. A car intelligently engineered to free your eyes, your hands, your senses. Introducing the new Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. The look may change, but the spirit remains the same. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
January 18th is All-Star Saturday on NBC. First, it's Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, and the greatest stars in hockey at the NHL All-Star Game. Then, celebrities from the worlds of sports and entertainment tee it up with the PGA's best at the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic. Hockey's All-Stars and stars of all sorts coming in 2 weeks to NBC Sports.
We come back to Mile High Stadium. The margin now 5. Houston 21, Denver 16. Alan Pinkett from the 5 to the 15 to the 20 to the 25-yard line, 26-yard line. 21 yards on the return. Steve Sewell with the tackle.
Steve Sewell on the tackle. Yeah. Isn't that something? Number 30. We talked about his versatility, catching, running, blocking, and here he is on kickoff coverage. Maybe if I'm Steve Sewell, I go into Pat Boland's office and say, "Hey, babe, it could be time for a raise. I'm doing an awful lot of work out here."
Now Houston leads by 5. But the momentum on the side of the Broncos.
I was going to say, Charlie, one of the catchphrases that you hear with regards to this time of the game is gut check. It's a gut check now for the Houston offense because the onus falls on the shoulders of Warren Moon.
Moon has pressure. Pass is complete to White. White almost spins out of the first tackler, and that was Brooks, but then Cragen got him. And again, you're showing what you pointed out a moment ago, the strength of White.
What's very impressive, too, here, despite the spin around, is a graphic that people aren't aware of. They talk about the third down conversion of the Houston Oilers, but interestingly, a pass like that is seemingly insignificant. More than 50% of the time on first down, Houston gets 5 yards or more. That's a very important statistic because they continue to come up 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, very makeable third down conversions.
Defensively, Mecklenburg is out. Ron Holmes replaces him. 2nd and 5. They show blitz, and they come, and it is red. And here is Gibbons. Gibbons to the 50. Gibbons is spiked, and the flag goes on Charles Dimry as he turned him upside down and dropped him on his helmet out of bounds. 29 yards on the play, and that is dangerous.
There's no cause for that.
No reason.
Here we're talking about how tough this little kid is. Now watch as he gets to the end of the play. He comes off the block of Tony Jones. Now Gibbons, of course, right here is just trying. Look at this. You're at least 2 yards out of bounds. Right here, you can just let him go. And turning him on his head when he's that far out of bounds, I'm surprised that Dimry doesn't get tossed from the game for that. I don't know what the crowd's booing about. What are you talking about? Look how far out of bounds he is. He's at least 3 yards. There's no reason that he has to do that.
Gibbons' 5th reception.
He's already out of bounds. All he had to do was push him out. Instead, he does the pile driver. It reminded me a couple of years ago when Joe Turkey Jones did the same thing to Terry Bradshaw in a game.
Remember yesterday, Gibbons said it's just a kid's game, but grown men are playing it. He's up.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. I'm happy to see that. And you know what? I'm hoping that the boos that we hear from the crowd are boos of Charles Dimry, not because they're booing the play, because there's just no reason for that.
I suspect they are.
And the thing is a player like this, a tough little competitor, somebody who has done exactly what he said, elevating his game for the playoffs, to be turned on his head like that, there's no excuse for it.
And with the penalty, the ball goes to the 25-yard line of Denver, where Houston will have a first down. 53 seconds, time remaining in the third. Again, Houston leads by 5, 21-16.
If that man can get back in the game, he will. I know I'm sounding like I'm a big Ernest Gibbons fan, but
well, you are.
But having my career occupied in the middle of the field, I know how tough it was to do that at 230 pounds, let alone do it at 172.
A little shuttle pass as he was going down to White. They improvised. They may pick up the first down.
This is unbelievable. Warren Moon is making so many plays today. You know, at the beginning we talked about the fact that we said already this man in Houston has taken on almost deity-like status, giving $200,000 to a church, setting records for completions and numbers and everything else. Makes the play here. Kroll is right there, has him just before he goes down. The left-handed flip to White, and White gets up with the first down. Warren Moon is, as they say, forgive this cliche, but this is so exciting. He is letting it all hang out.
Yeah. And he told us yesterday that this is the best team that the Oilers have had since he's been there.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. I think really this year...
I think really because of this man is the reason it's the best
Well,
team.
certainly he's one of the reasons, but the defense has had an outstanding season as well.
He's such a class man. I really do like him. A first down at the Denver 15-yard line.
This is one of the few people, you know, it sounds corny to say this, but if you have a son and he grows up to be Warren Moon, you have no complaints.
Well stated. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
He's taking America by storm, and he's just getting started. See his first television special, Friday, January 17th. Garth Brooks is coming to NBC.
You may not have believed an American luxury sedan could challenge the world's best. The new Cadillac Seville STS. Winner of Automobile Magazine's Automobile of the Year, and one of Car and Driver Magazine's 10 best cars in the world. The Cadillac Seville STS, presented by your Cadillac Tri-Statesman. There's never been a car so acclaimed it could change the way you think about American automobiles.
Adjustable front seatbelt anchors, standard driver's side airbag, available anti-lock brakes.
But when it came to safety, we didn't ask what it costs. We asked what it could save. The all-new 1992 Toyota Camry. We just couldn't leave well enough alone.
Subway's vigilante, Bernard Getz. Now it can be told.
The big play of this drive is Warren Moon seeing the blitz. From the left side right here, you're going to see Dennis Smith is coming in. Now from the right side of the screen comes Steve Atwater. Watch the center, Bruce Matthews. The center, Bruce Matthews, and Doug Dawson go to a zone situation, collide together. Two men take on three. Ernest Gibbons runs the out route as he's looking into the backfield, exactly what he's supposed to do on that blitz read. And now they're downfield, poised to score again.
Houston first down, 15-yard line. White. No, that's Jeffries that has it. Inside of the 10. And it is Dimry again, regardless of which side of the field Warren Moon looks for him.
Well, you know what's interesting is that now Gibbons is coming back in the game. Oh, good. Good to see that.
A strained neck. Hopefully he will return. Well, that hope has been fulfilled for the Oilers.
Get a little rub down. That's kind of a stinger right there between. I'm going to sound like a physiologist here, but right between the trapezius and the ears, where you get those stingers in the neck. Trust me, I've had a few.
I know where the ear is. I'm not sure the trapezius. Second down. Here is White. Maybe a yard for Lorenzo. Ron Holmes makes the tackle. Through 3/4 of play, there is a 100-yard discrepancy in total offense. Houston 351 yards, Denver 251 yards. The ball at the 7-yard line.
Interestingly enough, last time when they're in this situation, you can see Kevin Gilbride looking over his plays, what it is he wants to do. They did not go for the first time last time. They threw the touchdown on the swirl route to Curtis Duncan on the right side of the field. I would anticipate seeing some crossing routes from the inside receivers, Hill and Gibbons.
Now, Dimry is the right corner, so he is to the left of the offense for Houston. Moon looking right, comes back left, throws over the middle, it's dropped. Jeffries couldn't hold on to it, and the field goal team will come out.
That's the second costly drop for Haywood Jeffries. You know, we've really been lauding him over the fact that early in the game he had the big catch and he had 100 catches, but this is very catchable. The offensive line, great protection. Moon seeing the entire field. He hits him right, no one touches anything. Dimry's completely behind him. Very catchable ball. That should have been a touchdown for the Oilers.
Al Del Greco from the 15, an attempt of 25. He missed officially from the 33 on the earlier one. Montgomery with the hold, it's perfect. So Houston adds 3 more. Their total is now 24-16.
In the right hands, even the most functional things can be art. So we asked a sculptor to design a new luxury sedan, the Mazda 929. And while it offers a generous list of safety features and amenities to comfort both mind and body, its richest rewards are for the soul. The new 929, the first luxury sedan from the new Mazda.
It just feels right.
Alex Furlong is about to die and enter the year 2009.
It's Alex, don't you remember me?
Now he's a free jack.
Someone paid to bring him back.
With a body that's priceless.
15 million to anyone who can bring you in.
In a world that's ruthless.
I watched you die.
Emilio Estevez, Mick Jagger, Rene Russo, and Anthony Hopkins.
Welcome to my mind.
Free Jack, rated R. Starts Friday, January 17th.
Some people perspire.
We sweat.
You need Arid Double X Protection to help keep you extra, extra dry. And look, it's the only leading solid that doesn't leave a white, flaky mess.
Arid Double X helps keep us extra.
Extra dry.
Because there's a man planning his retirement. Because there's a family hoping to send their kids to college. Because every investor is different, with dreams all their own, Dean Witter measures success one investor at a time.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by the new Mazda. Mazda, it just feels right. By the U.S. Army Reserve, be all you can be. By the Prudential, come to the companies of the Prudential and build your future on the rock. And by Coors Light, the Silver Bullet is the right beer now.
The scenic wonders of Colorado. I'm not sure it gets much better than this as we come back to Mile High Stadium. Del Greco kicking off. Alton Montgomery will down it in the end zone to bring it out to the 20.
I still think that this is a very catchable ball by Haywood Jeffries, but in fairness to him, watch the right hand of Charles Dimry right at the last minute is going to come in and pin his elbow back. Right there, you can see the hand is in there. Still, I know that he probably says to himself that he feels that he could have had that one back. Interesting point, those two that are sitting right there, Drew Hill and Haywood Jeffries, combined for 190 catches this season. That is a record for two receivers in one National Football League season.
Yes, but let us also point out that Charles Dimry did make the play because they've been picking on him, and perhaps we have too. Denver first down from their own 20-yard line. Elway with a middle screen to Sewell. And Sewell to the 29-yard line. It'll be second down and 1. Bubba McDowell with the tackle. NFC Divisional playoff. Earlier today, Washington defeated Atlanta by a score of 24-7. And tomorrow on NBC, of course, Kansas City at Buffalo, starting at 12 noon Eastern time as the divisional playoffs continue.
I remember last year at this time, everybody said, oh, the only team that can beat Buffalo up there is Kansas City. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Here is Steve Sewell. Sewell finding an opening to the 41-yard line, and he is pumped. A gain of 12, first down.
This is probably
Orlando makes the tackle.
I was going to say Steve Sewell is having arguably one of the best games of his career, particularly running. He gets some good downfield blocks, but he also shows some sweet feet. And I might mention for those aficionados who keep track of such things, his number 30 is the same as his head coach, Dan Reeves, wore for the Dallas Cowboys so long ago.
Jeff is the injured player. And we'll step aside for just a moment. Houston leads it 24-16.
When the Mazda Miata first came along, it was like nobody else's baby. But then it was designed to be different. Now the Miata will be joined by 5 new Mazda cars, like the MX-3 Sports Coupe with the only V6 in its class, and the 929 luxury sedan with dual airbags standard. Cars as pure and personal as the Miata. Designed to be different? You bet. The Miata was just the beginning.
Alpha 1, this is Alpha 2. Enemy squad in open. Moving north on foot.
Sergeant, here's the latest intelligence report. I'll post it right away, Sergeant. Sir, enemy position is confirmed at Papa.
Step off.
Army Reserve, Montgomery GI Bill, skill training and more.
1980. The youth of the world gathered in Moscow. Everlasting memories, brought to you by the International Olympic Committee.
Defensive tackle Ray Childress out with a bad back, replaced by Jeff Ahm. He just comes out limping on a bad knee. He's replaced by number 94, Glenn Montgomery.
Jim Eddy told us he would only be used in an emergency situation. Well, time to dial 911. There he is.
Denver first down their own 41-yard line. Gaston Green. Couple of yards to the 43. It'll be second down and 8. 11 minutes and 42 seconds left to go. 24-16 Houston leads. There's Jim Eddy. I think when it was a Tuesday, he is more fun to talk with because he gets. I asked him, I said, you know, I know you're ready up for this game. I haven't slept for a week. I'm so ready.
Very animated. Yeah. You know, if the thing doesn't work out with the defensive coordinator, he can always flag planes in for one of the airlines.
Second down. Elway now pressure from the backside. His hit as he throws, it is incomplete. William Fuller got him.
Well, William Fuller, known as the Fuller Rush Man, we haven't heard much from him today. Ken Lanier has done an outstanding job And William Fuller is one of those people who's very charitable. 15 sacks, led the AFC. Very interesting human interest story.
And what he does, he donates $500 on every sack to the Juvenile Diabetes Society, helping out the young kids with diabetes. And he has a lot of corporate involvement so that a lot of companies also donate money. He has raised this season $97,500 to battle juvenile diabetes.
That's terrific.
That is. Vance Johnson, first down. A 3rd and 8 conversion, a gain of 10. Have you noticed something? A lot of flags in the first half, very few flags in the second half. Everybody
I noticed number 57, Lamar Lathan. Sure, he's a middle linebacker, and I know he's a terrific athlete, but there's no way that he should be the guy underneath on top of Vance Johnson. They went to his zone coverage and assumed that Lathan could stay with him in that half of the field, and they were wrong.
Gaston Green to the 44-yard line. 2nd down and 7. Darrell Lewis, the rookie from Arizona, making the tackle.
And interesting, we're seeing some different numbers now. Darrell Lewis coming into the game. They're set. Both teams are having to go with some different people. You see right there, Vance Johnson, a little bit of a hamstring problem. Trying to stretch that out. That always happens to the fast guys like us.
Like us?
I'm sorry.
I'm not going to let that one go by.
Yeah, I figured.
Speaking of fast guys, Gaston Green, 17 carries, 59 yards rushing.
Slowed down a little bit in the second half. The Houston Oilers have done a better job against the run.
Little swing right side. And Gaston is going to pick up a yard. That'll be about it. Al Smith makes the tackle.
Al Smith showing a lot of range from his middle linebacker position, and also give Darrell Lewis, number 29, credit. He is one of the 4 young guns that are in the secondary for the Houston Oilers. Their 4 reserve defensive backs are all rookies. And Jim Eddy, the defensive coordinator, told us that yes, that they have improved, but they have really taken a baptism of fire because they've been burned a couple of times.
Barry Johnson, the rookie free agent, activated for this game as a wide receiver. He is the 5th wide receiver. He is in this offensive set of 3rd down and 6. Denver 5 of 8, 3rd down conversion. Elway can run for it. If he can get around the corner, he cannot get around the corner as he is pulled down by Lamar Lathan.
Now, Lamar Lathan is in what's called a spy position. He's the middle linebacker. He has legitimate 4-5 speed, and you saw it right there. How many times do you ever see a linebacker run down John Elway? Interestingly enough, now with 4th and 4, you saw Dan Reeves point and say, we're going for it.
The margin is 8 points, 24-16. They have to score twice.
This would be interesting to see. John Elway in the past has pooch kicked from this formation. So let's take a look and see what happens with the shotgun here.
It's there, first down. Still going, Michael Young. Out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
The protection for Elway was outstanding, and this enables Young to get open. But watch at the end of the play. Bo Orlando will knock off Steve Jackson, who has the tackle. They hit one another, and now Young is able to get up the field with some extra yardage to the 15-yard line.
26 yards on the play.
Actually got away with a little bit of a hold there. This is a swirl. Ooh, look at this. This is a real
This is a battle.
So much for the Chuck rule, huh? Comes out on that swirl route. Spins off. When we come back, the Denver Broncos are going to have the ball on the 15-yard line heading in.
The white zone is for immediate.
We didn't design the new Mazda MX-3 to be like apple pie. Jalapenos were what we had in mind. Because if something's not worth having an opinion about it, it's not worth having. And with the only V6 in its class, the MX-3 is one hot chili pepper. Hey, you're not John Doe. Why drive his car? The new MX-3 from the new Mazda.
It just feels right!
A mistake was made. Okay, we forgot.
We overlooked it.
Say you need something sent overnight. There are a few companies you can call. But say you need it Saturday morning, guaranteed. There are two. But only one is so efficient.
Bobby, just give me a couple of minutes.
They get it there on time for far less, which is why to some, there is only one. UPS.
2 minutes, Gary. Yeah, you're right. 12. Who's 12? 40. Yeah, let's go get him up.
In a world of sweeping changes, there is one certainty. The financial strength of the rock. The Prudential, rock solid.
This winter, sports' biggest stars are on NBC. Michael leads the world champs against Isaiah and the Pistons. Detroit heads to Boston to battle Larry Bird and the Celtics. A rematch of last year's NBA Finals as the Bulls take on the Lakers. And a day of shooting stars at the All-Star Game. The NBA's just beginning on NBC. Come fly with us.
William Fuller got a finger in the eye. That was the reason for the injury timeout.
Interestingly enough, William Fuller was part of the trade. You can see Ricky Nattiel trying to walk it off there a little bit.
He came out limping.
Of an ankle sprain. William Fuller was somebody who was in that trade 5 years ago that had the quarterback for the Rams, Jim Everett, traded from Houston to the Rams. He was just kind of a throw-in into the deal. And I think really, if you look at it, Houston might have got the best of that this first Pro Bowl season.
Here again is that little shuttle pass underneath to Sharp to the 8-yard line. Goes for 7. Lamar Lathan with the tackle. That has been an effective play.
As I say, under the heading, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think this is about the 4th time they've tried that. 3 times it's been complete, and of course the other time Sharp dropped it. He has Al Smith coming to the left, going out of position, and when he cuts back to the middle, there's some grass for him to get some yardage.
And Fuller comes back into the lineup. 2nd down and 3. The ball at the 8-yard line of Houston. Sharp. Steve Sewell to the 1-yard line. And he has done everything, hasn't he?
Well, the Denver Broncos love to trap, and that's exactly what they did. Vance Johnson now implores the crowd to get into the game. The Denver Broncos now going with a 3-tight set. Trap in the middle. Right here, they do a good job trapping Al Smith. You can see coming off of there, Wydell traps him. He gets in on the tackle, but not until Sewell has a 9-yard gain to the 1-yard line.
And they'll have that same offensive set that Greg Lewis scored on earlier with Keith Trader, the linebackers, the fullback, and the lead blocker. He's number 54. From a yard away. Touchdown, Denver. Denver putting together an 80-yard touchdown drive. Greg Lewis scores a touchdown. He's had a pretty good day. 3 carries, 2 yards, 2 touchdowns. Here's the extra point. It's good. Denver pulls within 1. Houston 24. Denver 23. 6:53 left to go in the ball game. We'll be back with the kickoff in a moment.
Zone is for immediate.
We didn't design the new Mazda MX-3 to be like apple pie. Jalapenos were what we had in mind. Because if something's not worth having an opinion about it, it's not worth having. And with the only V6 in its class, the MX-3 is one hot chili pepper. Hey, you're not John Doe. Why drive his car? The new MX-3 from the new Mazda.
It just feels right!
The Denver Broncos mascot, Sun Star, Christine Padilla, is up. 14-year-old Appaloosa horse.
There's
the mascot at the celebration.
Earlier in the week when I had a chance to chat with Greg Lewis, even though he is a rookie, he looked me right in the eye and he said, Todd, he said, this could be my only chance at this. You never know in this business. This could be it for me in terms of an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. He's making the most of it today with 2 touchdown runs.
That drive consumes 7 minutes and 32 seconds. 6:53 left. Houston leads by 1, high and short. Taken at the 20-yard line by Pinkett. And down at the 27.
Unlike the rest of the Denver Broncos, he's asking for quiet. Sheesh.
He's looking right at the south stands.
And
the notorious south stand.
Yeah, I was going to say the south stands, much like the notorious dog pound in both Cleveland and the Arsenio Hall show, they can get rabid, but John wants them quiet. Now they're going to get loud.
Throwing underneath the coverage to Lorenzo White. 36-yard line, 2nd down and 1.
The last time they began this drive, they did the exact same thing. They threw a short pass to Lorenzo White, got the crowd out of the game. Now they come up with 2nd and short. Warren Moon is really playing a heady game today, not just making the good throws, but he's thinking out there and he's doing some things mentally that are creating the success for the Oilers.
Houston at their own 36-yard line. 2nd and 1. And here is White to the outside, 1st down. And down at the 41-yard line, so he'll pick up 5 in the 1st down as Atwater and Demry make the play.
Only the Houston Oilers have stopped the Houston Oilers today. The 2 drop passes that ended up with a missed field goal and a made field goal, and of course the interception to Atwater. Jack Party excited with the way his offense is going. He knows that Warren Moon continues to do the job. And for the Denver Broncos, they have to stop the Houston Oilers here. They cannot let them take time off the clock, go down and kick a field goal. Within this series here, the Broncos have to do something.
1st down at their own 41-yard line. And Houston moves. Flags go flying. It'll be a false start. It'll be 1st and 15.
False start. Prior to the snap. 63 offense. Still first down.
The reason for the 1-point margin, in case you have not been with us throughout the ball game, the missed extra point with 1:17 to go in the 1st quarter.
It's very surprising, Charlie, while you're mentioning that. Mike Munchak, that's about his 3rd penalty where that is concerned, and that's just, you know, you wouldn't expect that from a 7-time Pro Bowler.
1st and 15. Here's White. Power running to the 45-yard line.
And I love it when you're pressured. I really do. You said earlier the fact that in the offseason he worked to make his legs stronger so that come this time of the year, he was going to be able to go. Excellent call by the Houston Oilers. Watch the legs churning. First hit there at the 39-yard line. Now watch as he turns his legs where he ends up. That's another 6 yards just by driving hard.
Denver has taken a timeout. We can go back to when I started the story a moment ago, and that being the missed extra point of the Denver Broncos. Wydell, the center, who is normally just a snapper, but with the thigh injury to Keith Karts, Wydell starting, and as Todd pointed out, with that tape on his hands, the holder Gary Kubiak and the kicker David Treadwell.
Well, how many times have we seen that happen in a game where that becomes pivotal? You don't think about it at the time.
And here's a look at it. The snap is high. When Kubiak brings it down, he drops it for a moment. And then the laces are to the kicker side. They hate to see the laces. He's still got to kick under.
That's exactly. He still has to kick up, and he's the one that hooked it. You know, when we look at it the second time, the snap really wasn't that bad.
It really wasn't. You're right.
Lorenzo White now having an outstanding game. 14 carries for 65 yards. Also 5 catches for 35. 100 total yards in the game.
Now he's over 100 total yards, and he continues to roll inside the 45 of Denver. Randy Robbins with the tackle, and the clock continues to move. 4.5 minutes left. Houston leading by 1.
And that man right there has to feel awfully good about himself. Here they have arguably the best passing offense in the league, and now it's coming down to crunch time. And where do they go? They go to number 44.
And Mike Kroll, the rookie, who has been named the Associated Press Defensive Rookie of the Year, is the injured player. Clock is stopped with 4:29 left to go in the ball game. Houston 24, Denver 23, and tomorrow we look for a ball game that could well equal this. O.J. Simpson will be there in the pregame show on NFL Live with a feature on Bruce Smith. And the ball game, Kansas City and Buffalo, as the divisional playoffs continue on NBC. That'll be at 12 noon Eastern time tomorrow.
Interestingly enough,
oh, look at the weather. The weather in Buffalo, always a factor. Temperature 32 degrees. That sounds like here, possible flurry.
I was about to say, Charlie, that interestingly enough, even though Christian Okoye has been a non-factor for the Kansas City Chiefs down the stretch, a man who has come into the breach has been Barry Word, who now has 2 straight 100-yard games heading into this Buffalo game.
Gary Kubiak, the backup quarterback, and also the holder on extra points and field goals.
You know, we've seen that. I remember reading one time Paul Hornung said that he would rather kick the laces than kick the side of the ball, because when you kick the side of the ball where the air hole is, where you pump that thing in, that can make the thing slide one way or another. So the more we look at that replay, the more I think that was certainly makeable for Treadwell.
So Mike Kroll now comes out for a play.
Mike Kroll, as you mentioned, you know, 4th pick overall, had 10 sacks, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Interestingly enough, today, the team that leads the AFC in sacks, second in the NFL, the Denver Broncos, do not have a single sack today.
And with Kroll coming out for at least a play that is not a charged timeout, this pass is complete to Jeffries. They're going to spot it at the 39-yard line, so it'll go for 6. The clock continues to move inside of 4 minutes remaining. Of course, Houston wanting to accomplish 2 things here. They, of course, would like to score again, but I think more importantly, they want to keep that clock moving. Timeouts remaining, 2 on each side.
Interestingly enough, because of the accuracy of Warren Moon, a misnomer where the run-and-shoot offense is concerned is that it's not a ball-controlled team. At the end of the season, they had nearly 31 minutes, which means that they averaged more per game in time of possession than their opponents.
39-yard line following a gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. Moon comes back to the near side to Jeffries, who has it. The wide receivers on the opposite side looking back to Moon and patting on their right hip. Were they signaling to him that they had the double coverage there and it'd be single coverage on the left?
Yes, that's what they were signaling. It's interesting that they have that sort of communication. Inside, the responsibility goes to both Ernest Gibbons and Drew Hill there, because they have to communicate to the people on the outside, because in a crowd like this, certainly they can't hear what Warren Moon is saying. I wanted to make a point here with regards to Haywood Jeffries. We got on him a little bit for dropping those 2 passes earlier. Isn't it interesting that Warren Moon does not lose confidence in him? And now, in obviously the most significant drive of the game, where does he go to get the first down? Haywood Jeffries.
His century man, 100 catches during the regular season. As you saw, a gain of 5 and the first down. 3:13 time remaining in the ball game. Houston 24, Denver 23.
Now, the one thing that Warren Moon does not want to do, take a look at those numbers, 26 for 32. That is an impressive over 80%.
81%.
Now, what Kevin Gilbride is telling Warren Moon in this situation is that we cannot afford an incompletion, and incompletion stops the clock.
White is going to lose a yard. And it will be 2nd down and 11.
Denver's taking a timeout here, which is smart, because right there, the game clock was even with the 45-second clock, and Houston could have got away with just letting it run down.
So Denver, as you saw, with 1 timeout remaining in the ballgame.
Because of what they're doing there, Charlie, now this forces, this sounds funny, this forces Houston to throw.
Play right into my strength, if you will, please.
So in other words, they just can't hand off to Lorenzo White, let the clock run down, kick a field goal, or punt it and put the pressure on the defense. Warren Moon is going to have to make some plays here to his wideouts. And again, really the pressure is on the defensive backs for the Denver Broncos.
Wade Phillips, defensive coordinator. His dad, of course, Bum, a former head coach of Houston. Now one of their broadcasters is here for the ball game.
This is all part of the chess game with Wade Phillips. He has to ask himself the question at this point, do I want to stay with a standard 4-man rush and see if the secondary can do the job, or do I want to blitz Warren Moon, take some chances, and knock them back?
The report on Mike Crowley, he's just had the wind knocked out of him, and he can come back in. Moon goes deep. There's some bumping inside of the 5. No flags. Incomplete. Jeffries, the intended receiver. And the Broncos secondary may have gotten away with one.
This entire game, we have been talking about how well what Warren Moon has done. Smart plays, heads-up plays, athletic plays. Why, oh, why are you throwing a post pattern with 2:35 left? Why aren't you throwing the short routes that Haywood Jeffries has been coming up with all day long? Ernest Gibbons underneath, Drew Hill underneath. Kevin Gilbride and Warren Moon are certainly going to be second-guessed for that call.
And that does stop the clock with 2:36 remaining. Houston 5 of 7, third down conversion. Pass is complete, but it will be short of the first down. They'll mark it at the 32-yard line. It'll go for only 3.
Prior to the snap. Third down.
There was movement prior to the snap. That is an automatic call. So it'll be third down and 16 on the false start. And that play is completely erased.
The only thing good for Houston there is now the clock has ticked down to where whatever this play is, assuming that it's not incomplete, we'll take it to the 2-minute warning. But what Houston has to concern itself with here at the 40-yard line is, can they get into field goal position? Not necessarily can they get the first down, because it's a little unrealistic to go 3rd and 16. If they can get a 10-yarder down to the 30-yard line, then they would be in Al Del Greco's field goal range, and that's something that both Kevin Gilbride and Warren Moon have to concern themselves with here.
Third and 16. Moon with all the time in the world now. A flag is down. Pass is complete. It'll be 9 yards shy of the first down to Curtis Duncan, but a marker back at the 44 usually means against the offense. Clock now at 2:23.
3 times now during this drive, the clock has been stopped. It has only gone from around 2:54 down to 2:23 in the last 3 plays. Now, whether they take the play or not here, it's advantage Denver Broncos because the flag has stopped the clock. Now
and Houston stopping the clock themselves.
Now at the 34-yard line, here's an interesting point. If they refuse the penalty, that's a 51-yard field goal attempt.
Illegal hands to the face. 63, offense. Still third down.
Mike Munchak, and he has had a struggle today.
Well, for an all-pro player, this has certainly not been the best day of his career. We'll get a chance to see this. Right in the middle of your screen, take a look at number 63. Right up front, you're going to see Fletcher come in. There's the hand to the face. Actually, that wasn't There it is.
There it is.
Right there on the face mask. He gets Greg Crate. And truthfully, I'm surprised that they took this penalty. If for no other reason than now this gives Houston a chance to run some more time off the clock. I would look for the Oilers here just to hand off to Lorenzo White, get down to the 2-minute warning.
Third and 26 they do. This is White on the draw to the 46-yard line. And now Denver stops the clock. They take their last timeout, stopping it at 2:15. What they did in reality, they saved 15 seconds. Denver has really worked the clock well. They have no more timeouts, but it being fourth down, they will have the ball on offense, feeling that Elway can control the clock that way.
Charlie, you know what? I hate to disagree with you. It's not so much that Denver has used the clock well, it's that Houston has worked it absolutely horribly here during this set. I mean, you have
I could agree with that, too.
You have the ball 1st and 10, 2:54 on the clock. Now you have it 4th down, and there's still 2:15 remaining. Anybody that knows anything about John Elway knows that he is a comeback kid.
And Greg Montgomery will be kicking. This is his first punt of the ball game, coming with 2:15. You saw Elway, he's ready to go. Vance Johnson is the return man. He told us yesterday he would rather fair catch. I don't think he will here. Let's see. The reason that he is returning, he has the best hands on the team. Here's pressure, he gets it off. Oh, a good kick. It's going to be down at the 2-yard line.
What a great kick by Montgomery. Look at how excited he is. There is a man who has not been able to do this. He hasn't been active the entire day. And there he comes in. Huge kick on the 2-yard line.
The drive, Cleveland. Elway, 98 yards. Can he do it again? He has 2 minutes and 7 seconds.
Big difference here, however, is he does not have to go 98 yards. In this case, really, he only has to go about 68 to get in position for a Treadwell field goal.
Denver from the Denver 2, 1st down. And how ironic it might be if that happens. Treadwell, who missed the extra point, kicks the winning field goal. But first things first, from the shotgun and the end zone. And the pass is complete. Michael Young. A diving reception at the 24-yard line. 2-minute warning. We'll step aside for a minute. Don't miss this one. You gotta love it.
Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes, 1991. With less than 7 minutes to go in the game, the Lions trail by 17. 2 touchdowns and a successful onside kick later. And with 36 seconds left, Detroit is 15 yards from an unbelievable comeback victory.
3rd down, less than a yard from inside the 15. It's Barry, and he's open to the 10, 5, touchdown! Barry Sanders, unbelievable!
Recycling aluminum beverage cans can help save money, since they're worth more at recycling centers and at curbside pickup. Save energy, since they have more recycled content. They save landfill space, since more than 63% of all aluminum cans made are recycled. Yes, recycling aluminum cans saves more of a lot of things, which helps save one more thing. Aluminum beverage cans. Why in the world would you buy anything else?
This is our vision of what a luxury sedan should be. Not because it offers rich leather and anti-lock brakes, but because it comes standard with an airbag on the driver's side and the passenger side as well, creating a luxury sedan where even peace of mind is shared. The new 929, the first luxury sedan from the new Mazda.
It just feels right.
To me, there's nothing better than winning a Super Bowl or a NASCAR race. That's why Interstate's my kind of battery. Get an Interstate battery from automotive service, repair, and parts centers everywhere, and win with Interstate.
Flashback. I mentioned the drive. 1986 AFC Championship game. This was the tying touchdown. Elway to Mark Jackson. With 39 seconds remaining, the Broncos went on to win it in overtime on a Rich Carlos field goal. And here they started at the 2, but as Todd mentioned, they need only to get to about the Houston 30-yard line for the field goal attempt. Houston 24, Denver 23. Elway from the shotgun. Lathan is chasing him. He gets it away, and he's throwing it away. It'll be 2nd down.
They came with a lot of people there. They came with the strong safety, Bubba McDowell, Lamar Lathan, who ends up knocking him out of bounds on Al Smith from the middle. Now here's a big chess game where Jim Eddy is concerned. He can't afford the luxury of letting Elway sit in the pocket unencumbered because he's going to pick that secondary apart. He decided that time to come with some people, and it worked for him.
And remember, Denver does not have a timeout. Houston has 2. 1:52. Time remaining. The margin a point. Elway goes deep and he overthrows Vance Johnson.
Chris Dishman does a nice job on the coverage. He goes with the corner route. He has a man for man. That's funny. As I run back to the huddle, I just saw Chris Dishman pat Vance Johnson on the butt. He's running with him stride for stride. He knows he has some helps him to the inside. Now he cuts back. Only a throw like he had to Michael Young earlier could have snuck it in there, and I don't know what Vance Johnson's complaining about, because Dishman had excellent coverage.
It is 3rd down and 10. Denver at their own 24-yard line. Looking into a Colorado sunset from the shotgun. The quick out. The pass is complete. Ricky Nattiel, and he is dropped immediately, way shy of the 1st down, 28-yard line.
Now, what's difficult about this is that they're in the 2-minute situation. It's a 4th down. They do not have another timeout, I don't believe, so this will be interesting.
And Michael Young is the injured player at the 40-yard line. There may be a penalty.
By rule, all required evidence for 10-second run with the clock.
If you can hear Bobby Greer, he's telling us right here that there's a 10-second runoff.
That is by rule. When you have, after you used all of your timeouts, if you're in this particular time situation on the clock, any injury, regardless of whether it's faking, whether it is real, the official will stand over the clock, let 10 seconds run off before the next play.
But here is what the benefit is to the Denver Broncos. Because they were in the hurry-up on 4th down and 6, the most crucial play of the game, Elway was going to have to audible that at the line of scrimmage. Now, because of the injury to Michael Young, they get back in the huddle, they regroup, they get exactly the personnel that they want, and they can call exactly the play that they want.
4th down and 6. And was it not 4th down and 4 that Denver was successful in this ball game?
That man right there waiting for his turn for redemption. Earlier, as you mentioned, hooking that extra point.
Can Denver do it twice in the same ball game, converting on 4th down? This is 4th and 6, a minute 38 left. And that throw, you may recall, was to this man who is being helped off, Michael Young. It was a perfect pass right down the right sideline.
You're going to have people spread out all over the field. What about the possibility of John Elway, one of the 2 or 3 best running quarterbacks in the National Football League, going with a quarterback draw?
Not a bad choice. They have to let the 10 seconds run off.
10 seconds go down.
And then the umpire, who the center can see when he drops his hand, then the ball can be snapped. There it is, hand down, ball can be snapped. Elway's going to throw. Has pressure from the backside, scrambles out left. He's running for it. He's got it. Elway does it again. Oh, you gotta love it.
John, it's funny to see the reaction of Dan Reeves. He's seen this so many times before. If you remember the graphic we had earlier, 18 come from behind wins in the 4th quarter for John Elway and the Denver Broncos. He's seen it before. It's got to be frustrating to the Houston Oilers defense, who did everything right, but John Elway's athleticism overcame the right defense.
6th time in the ball game that Elway has rushed, total 39 yards. Pass is tipped incomplete. That stops the clock, 1:14. And it is 2nd down and 10.
Once again, the Houston Oilers came with the blitz. Both Darrell Lewis and Bubba McDowell came off the corner. Take a look at number 29. Darrell Lewis is going to come off the near corner, get in his face, and as a result, they bat the pass down. Well, we're not going to have time for the replay.
Jeff Alm, who was there.
Here it comes. Here comes Darrell Lewis jumping up, but it's Jeff Alm in the middle.
And he is pushed down by Chuck Wydell. And there are no flags. Alm now has come out, and he has been replaced to the line.
That's interesting because they don't want any stupid mistakes at this point. No arguments, no pulling of the face mask. They got him right out of the game.
2nd and 10 from the shotgun. Elway goes deep and is incomplete. He overthrows everybody. Derek Russell, the closest receiver. And it's going to be 3rd down and 10 back at the 35-yard line.
Once again, Jim Eddy doing an excellent job of mixing up the defensive coverages. One time he comes with 6. This time he comes with 4. It's a bit of a chess game here between John Elway and Jim Eddy. What do you come up with in this situation? And last time they had 3rd and 10, Jim Eddy made the right call. That man is frustrated. He would like to be out there simply because of the fact that he wants to have some control over what's happening on the field. Now he doesn't.
And remember, Houston leads by 1, 24-23, 1 minute and 8 seconds left. The field goal kicker for Denver, David Treadwell. 3rd down and 10. Backside pressure, Elway steps away, throws back, has a man, and it is incomplete. Vance Johnson was coming back to help him, and that pass from Elway across the field and about 50 yards in the air is unbelievable. Similar to a pass he made earlier against the Kansas City Chiefs. Certainly there's a lot of argument by the crowd, but take a look what's going to happen at the end of this play. Lamar Lathan, as we mentioned, a fast linebacker, has him in his tracks. What an athletic play here to break and to avoid him. Push him off. Now at the end of the play, you're going to see Richard Johnson just cream Vance Johnson, but the ball is so far beyond. Good call by the back judge. This was not a catchable football. And what had happened is Johnson had broken off his route to try and come back to Elway, and Elway threw it where he was. Houston takes a timeout. They stop the clock, 59 seconds.
I'm not sure I like that. I know what they're trying to do.
4th down and 10, they want to regroup.
Yeah, that's all well and good, but you've got John Elway reeling. You got him thrown off his back foot. You don't want to give him the chance to come over and think about it, relax, get his composure.
But you only have to stop them 1 play. From Houston's standpoint, if they stop Elway and the Broncos on this play, they win. Why take a chance? 59 seconds left. Put it all together, make sure everybody knows what you're doing. The whole season is this 1 play for Houston. Now, do you blitz? Do you put the pressure on?
4th and 10, I don't think so. What you do in this situation is you rush with 4. You bracket Vance Johnson. I can't see from here if Michael Young is back in the game, but if he is back in the game, he's been their clutch 3rd and 4th down receiver. Single cover the rookie Derek Russell, but make sure that you have Vance Johnson and Steve Sewell covered.
And remember, Denver has converted on 4th and 4, and they have converted on 4th and 6, and now it is 4th and 10. Barry Johnson goes wide to the far side. 3 wide receivers on the near side.
But only 2 corners, Charlie.
Elway scrambles, throws, has a man. They've got it. It's Johnson down the sideline. He is within field goal range. It doesn't get any better. Oh, I love it. 44 yards on 4th and 10.
Once John Elway breaks contain, he puts the pressure on the secondary to make a decision. Watch the man covering Vance Johnson. Do you stay with him or do you come up? He comes up to go after Elway. A bad decision. The reason it is even if Elway runs for the 1st down, the clock keeps going.
And here is Sewell to the 11-yard line. No timeouts remaining for Denver. Clock continues to move.
But John Elway has the composure. He's looking around. He knows all he has to do is get his people up to the line of scrimmage and spike the ball.
It'll be a 1st down at the 11-yard line. And he spikes it. Now, 20 seconds remaining. Will Elway take a shot at the end zone, or they want to kick it now?
Absolutely not. They're huddled over there right now. They're going to kick it.
They're going to kick it down. A lot of things could go wrong. Why take any chances? You got to hear. Let's see now if David Treadwell can do it.
Now, this is interesting. A couple of Super Bowls ago, I remember when Cliff Harris came out and said something to Roy Girella, and that's exactly what Dishman is doing. Look at Dishman in the huddle. Look at number 28. He was saying something to Treadwell right there. He was trying to psych him out. Now, when they come up to the line of scrimmage, are the Houston Oilers going to call a timeout and try to freeze him out?
I would think so. 28-yard attempt.
That's exactly right.
And they will. Sure. 20 seconds left. Ooh. Remember the drive? They did it in Cleveland.
Look at that baby face. Look at that baby face. What's going through that young man's mind right now? It's a chance for redemption. The entire season rests on this one kick. One thing that I should mention here, Charlie, soccer-style kickers who have the natural hook prefer the left hash. Now to the right hash, it could be a little bit more difficult. I find it interesting as we take a look at number 72, Keith Karts. Because of the snap problems earlier by Wydell, even though Karts hasn't played, he is coming into the game to be the snapper. What he is explaining to the referee right now is he's saying, look, right now it is second down. If I fumble the snap, I can come up here, and then we can get up to the line of scrimmage, spike the ball, and still kick another field goal. That's what he's trying to explain to Bobby Greer. Treadwell inside the 30-yard line this season has been perfect. 15 of 15.
28 yards away. Low snap. He gets it off. It's good. Kubiak this time scrambled with the hands and set it up. 16 seconds remain. 26-24 Denver.
Great job by Gary Kubiak. Another bad snap on the hop. He gets it up just in time. Treadwell makes the adjustment. Thank you, Gary Kubiak. Thank you for saving me with that, with your great hands. Otherwise, Treadwell already in his motion, as you notice. Watch David Treadwell already in his motion. He can't adjust. He's got to go through. At the last 10th of a second, Kubiak able to get it up. Treadwell hammers it through. The Broncos are ecstatic.
The Drive, Part 2.
That man did everything he could conceivably do to help this team win his football game. And if you've seen Warren Moon in the past, you know he is not an emotional individual. This one really has to hurt.
Coleman from the 6-yard line. And he goes out of bounds to stop the clock at the 20-yard line. Houston with 12 seconds remaining in the season, trailing by 2.
What a shock to this Houston team. Up 21-6 in the first quarter. Everything going their way. We talk all the time about strange things happening in this place. That is exactly what has happened to that team right there. Look at the beleaguered looks on their faces. They thought in the first half that it was their game for the taking, and for all intents and purposes it was. But once you have somebody like number 7 on your side, John Elway, who can make magic happen, they're never out of a game.
Houston needs 50 yards in 11 seconds to try a field goal attempt. Moon's pass to Gibbons. He goes out about 7 seconds. He's out at the 36-yard line for Denver. The drive, part 2, 11 plays, 87 yards. It consumed 1 minute, 51 seconds. It led to the 28-yard field goal.
Now, just for the sake of reference here, if they in 6 seconds can get that exact same route, they get the exact same route to Gibbons here in 6 seconds, they can kick about a 55-yard field goal. And in this altitude, you never know.
Del Greco against the Jets at a 53-yarder.
I think they're going to run the exact same route to the other side.
One second left.
What a bitter pill for this team to swallow. They proved that they could play outdoors. They proved that the elements had nothing to do with it. They took on the home field advantage. They did everything. They spent it all out there. If you want to run the gamut of emotions, see the faces on the Houston Oilers and see the faces for the Denver Broncos.
1 second left. It's over. Denver wins 26-24.
So many times, but did you believe that you guys would be in a position to get a chance to win this game?
I tell you what, we were chasing all day long. I just hoped that we had one chance to win it at the end of the game. The defense did a great job, and they gave us a chance. It was on the one, but we were just glad we had a chance. And boy, I tell you what, everybody just played their tail off. We got the job done.
And that last drive, you had 2 fourth downs. Both of them were broken plays. Can you tell me what happened?
Well, they got some good pressure, and I knew on 4th down I wanted to try to get out and scramble, make something happen. And fortunately, there was some room for me to run on the first one. The second one, they covered me pretty good, and Vance Johnson turned up the field, and I was able to get him the ball.
Now, tell me the difference between this team and teams in the past. No one thought you'd be here this time of the year.
I'll tell you what, our defense has played great all year, and they've really kept us in every football game. They struggled a little bit today, and I'm just thankful that the offense could pick it up and really score some points because the Oilers were moving the heck out of the ball, and we just came back to offense and got it done.
What about Buffalo next week?
We're looking forward to it, but I hope the Chiefs win.
Back to you. Up to you, Charlie.
And, of course, if the Chiefs win, then that game, the championship game, would be played here. If Buffalo wins, Denver will be at Buffalo. 4th down and 10 in the pass to that man that you saw for a moment, Vance Johnson and Warren Moon, walking into the locker room for the last time this season.
I couldn't help but think as you watch Vance Johnson get picked up and Warren Moon walking off, heroes ride and losers walk. It's a shame.
We'll be back in a moment.
Here, Vance Johnson is going to run a crossing route. Actually, nothing special, but the big decision is here on the corner. He makes the egregious mistake of going after Elway because even if Elway runs for the first down, it's in the middle of the field at about the 40-yard line. What does he do right here? Stay in your zone. Instead, he steps up. The ball is thrown over him. Vance Johnson with the big play that leads to the field goal. Mental mistake on the part of the Oilers that gave the Broncos the victory.
In that drive, Denver converted on 4th and 6. They converted on 4th and 10. That was the play you just saw. The final score once again, Denver 26 and Houston 24. For O.J. Simpson and Todd Christensen, I'm Charlie Jones. Be sure to join NBC Sports tomorrow for the next AFC Divisional playoff game, the Bills and the Chiefs. Coverage begins at 12 noon Eastern Time with NFL Live. And tonight on NBC, it's the Golden Girls, Walter and Emily, Empty Nest, Nurses, and Sisters.